What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And in today's video, we're going to share exactly how to go out there and change your life with cash buyers, and actually how to find cash buyers the right way in your real estate wholesaling business. I'm excited. This is going to be the ultimate cash buyers guide for wholesaling. I'm pumped up for this one. Are you ready to go?
I love buyers, man.
I'm telling you, getting cash buyers the right way in your wholesaling business is probably going to be one of the most important things you can do to implement to go out there and actually start changing your life, start changing your wholesaling business, and going out here and living the life of your dreams. So if you're excited, if you're ready to go to learn the ultimate cash buyers guide, do us one huge favor here and smash that like button and subscribe, get the most free value from us. And let's get into it, because finding cash buyers is just, for a lot of, in our personal opinion, it's one of the easiest things to do in our operations, because just the way things are right now, there's so much more buyers than sellers out there. It's a seller's market, as they say. So it's perfect for buyers, right?
I agree. And I really think in the last few years, a lot of wholesalers have really, I'm not going to say we're gotten lazy on cash buyers, but it's easy to do it when there's so many out there. So the purpose today is help kind of re-energize how to get a quick set of cash buyers, because honestly, your wholesaling is not complete until you get this part done. So kudos to everybody spending time and going to freewholesaling.com, figuring out how to find a motivated seller. First part of today, we're going to concentrate on how to get these cash buyers. Guys, you cannot skip this step. It is the final piece to getting paid on your assignment contracts.
100%. So guys, before we get it going, guys, there's only one thing we can do. We're ready to go. I'm excited to go. I'm excited. I'm pumped up today to go teach you guys how to get cash buyers and really how to sell in your deals for the biggest profit possible. So I'm pumped up for this one. You're ready to go?
I'm
ready to bring the DJ on?
I'll start dancing on the table here in a minute.
Oh my gosh. Let's get the DJ going.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we ain't gonna be doing that. We'll get them on. So let's go, guys. Ready? Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Love it. I love getting the people going on that. So let's talk about it, guys. Cash buyers, how to actually dispo your deals and actually how to sell them for top dollar. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really excited to share with you guys exactly how to do it. So let's get it going. We are pumped up. Let's get it. Blessings. What's up, One Arrow from Minnesota? 4 degrees. Woo!
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. We're smoking at about 74 degrees today.
Oh my gosh. So it's I can't imagine 4 degrees, but let's get it going. Justin's in the house. Steve in the house. Taylor, smash that like button.
Taylor's always here.
Corey says this today's Cash Buyers Masterclass powered by Guru Tears. Guru Tears powers this entire show. I'm telling you, right? You go on any of our websites, we're powered by Guru Tears, because that's what really gets the lights on. That's how we power up everything and get it going. So I'm excited, guys. Eddie from Metro Detroit. That's awesome. Let's get it. Mo buyers, no mo problems. I love it. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm pumped up. So let's kind of break down exactly how to do this. So I'm excited. So let's go over the first thing you have to know about cash buyers. And that is, what is technically a cash buyer, what isn't a cash buyer. The first thing I want to say is, in wholesaling real estate, obviously, a cash buyer, someone's going to be buying that contract from us, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's who we want to do. We want to get the people that are actually going to buy that contract from us. And again, cash buyer, it kind of, in the name itself, the person is going to buy the thing for cash, buy the contract for cash. So if someone doesn't have cash, they're not a cash buyer. If they have to get a loan to buy it, if have to use hard money to buy it, that's not a cash buyer. If it's another wholesaler who's just trying to daisy chain or JV the JV of it, that's not a cash buyer.
You guys have to sort through and actually find the person with cash.
Yeah.
The word cash is so commonly thrown around, just like motivated sellers.
Yeah.
Most realtors don't understand the difference in it. Just so you guys know, hard money's technically not cash. I'll argue it with anyone, because you have to have somebody underwrite the loan, produce loan documents, and they can pull out at the last minute. Whereas if a guy puts up a non-refundable deposit and he's put money in escrow for cash, that deal's pretty much done unless the house disappears. So the biggest thing you guys understand is you have to find cash buyers. Now, if you've had someone's bought from you before and they want to utilize hard money and they've done a few deals with it, okay, but understanding you are taking some calculated risk when you bring it in. Hard money means you're getting a private loan from an individual or a corporation. It is not that person's cash.
Yeah, I 100% there. So a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand, because it's the difference between a real cash buyer and a fake cash buyer. A lot of people, they get tricked by a wholesaler saying they're a cash buyer just because they don't know how to do it the right way. So the first thing we got to understand about cash buyers, like,
buyers are liars.
Buyers are liars, right? So
it's just true. Like, you have to sort through them. You give me 10 cash buyers, I guarantee you 7 of them are lying to me every time.
You got to understand that. So the difference between a cash buyer versus a fake cash buyer, there's only 3 words to really do it. Proof of funds, right?
Yeah, POF.
Show me the cash. Like, if you say you're going to buy my $200,000 deal, and if you don't have $200K in your bank account, I'm not going to deal with you. Like, get out of my life.
But you're going to offend me if you do that, Zach.
You see, that's the thing. I love it when a cash buyer will come to me and say, I'm offended you asked if I have proof of funds. I'm so offended. I have
not
so
buy
much.
it anymore.
My fear is I have so much money. I don't need a proof of funds. I'm like, it should be easier then, right?
Yeah.
But so end of the day, a proof of funds is basically a letter, a statement from the bank, or, snapshot of their bank account showing that they actually have the funds to close in the deal.
Have them pull it up on their phone.
Yeah, pull it up on their phone.
I can pull it up on my phone. Anyone who's serious, like, I know if I'm going to get a good deal from wholesaler, I'm coming with guns loaded and ready to go. And that's who you want to do business with. When you have someone just like, well, I got to add up these 7 accounts, and then I got to ask my dad permission. That is not a cash buyer. You need to go to the dad then. So whenever they want to bring in a partner, they're telling you it's basically not their money. It's the partner's money. So if you want to work with that person, make sure you're talking to the person in charge of the money, typically their name on the bank account. And by the way, the proof of funds has gotten crazy as of late.
Oh, yeah.
These things are being photoshopped like there's no tomorrow. So guys, when you get a proof of funds, the easiest thing to do is call the bank and just verify it.
Say that one more time.
When you get a proof of funds, hopefully it's on like a Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whatever it is. There should be an 800 number. There should be a date. There should be the last 4 of the account number and the account holder's name. You can call and verify yes or no if the funds are there. I'm telling you, a lot of you don't take that step. We just received in the last 2 weeks 4 proof of funds, and I can tell they're all photoshopped.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I keep getting the same one over and over, and they keep changing the date and the amount on it. So
it's stupid. And also, if you have a proof of funds letter and it says, Zach Gins approved for $600,000 from Rick Ginn Guru, or it says like Guru Johnson funding partners, that's not a proof of funds. If it's a proof of funds says they're approved for this amount of loan, that's a hard money loan. Hard money buyer, cash buyer, completely different. The only type of loan we accept of someone is if they have private money, right? That's the only one.
Correct. So the other one that's been coming out a lot are an LOC, which is a line of credit or like a HELOC.
Yeah. Home equity line of credit.
So once again, those can be taken away up to the day of the closing.
Yeah.
And then typically to get that money, I'm just telling you, it's usually 7 to 10 days to clear those funds.
Yeah.
And typically the line of credit is under like, John Smith Lending. He has $1 million to lend. That's code for hard money, just so you know. So it's important you understand up front who your buyer is. And it gets aggravating, but honestly, if I have 10 people, I just want to cut and deal with the ones that actually want to buy it, because I've spent all my energy getting this motivated seller. Guys, with buyers, do not waste your time. Just cut to the chase. And I promise you this, you do not want to become best friends with your buyers. It is going to kill your business in the long run.
This is a business at the end of the day. This isn't a friendship
It
part.
is.
It's so you got to understand that part. But also you want to have these cash buyers be working for you. You don't want to be working with them. So at the same, you don't have only 2 cash buyers, because then you're beholden to them. Cash buyer's going to say, your fee's too much on this. Next one. Or they'll just cut your fee off. You got to understand, if you have like 10, 15 buyers chomping at the bit for you, they will be, they'll be fine if you make an assignment just so they get the deal. That's the thing. So this is the next part with your cash buyers. I think it's pretty important, but you have to understand the cash buyer hierarchy when it comes to these cash buyers. There's a hierarchy, right? There's a pecking order when it actually comes to this. So what I can tell you is that pecking order basically goes from people who will pay the most on these wholesaling deals, cash buyer wise, and people will pay the least. Now, at the least, we got those like slumlord type people that buy like 100 deals a year and they own like thousands of rentals. And it's like a crazy like dude that understands this thing. He's been in the business for 50 plus years.
So let me tell you guys, I've been in this business 20 years. The minute they spend like the first 3 minutes trying to impress upon me on how many properties they buy a year.
Oh, I hate it.
I'm
scares
done.
me.
You do not want the guy who buys 30 to 50 properties a year, because they're going to beat you really bad down on the price. Occasionally you can squeeze one in, but I promise you, they're just going to keep coming back to the well. You want to look for someone that has cash, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, they're sick and tired of chasing stuff on MLS with realtors. They just want to get a deal now. And number three is the guy or gal that loves to get their hands dirty and work on a house. Like I'm going to flip this house and make it so beautiful. Or maybe they're buying a house for a family member, especially the kids.
Yeah.
I'm all over it when I hear these stories. When you have the professional buyer, I think like less than 5% of ours. And those are really the beat up ones that nobody else will take. So when the guy or gal starts out and goes, listen, we've already bought 50 properties this year, my ears just shut down. I just go, hey, listen, I got to go. I got another call. I'll let you know if we're interested.
That's the thing. And then, so the hierarchy basically goes, so number one, like the lowest of them are those guys that buy, or gals buying hundreds of deals. But let's kind of talk about the top one.
Correct.
So technically the top cash buyer hierarchy is going to be the, my favorite. This is my favorite type of cash buyer. Now, obviously the best one is someone who's going to live in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of rare. It's kind of hard to do. We had a cash buyer a year ago. This is probably where I'd say the perfect cash buyer. I actually found this person off of a Facebook group. So this was in like an HOA community of like 3,000 people.
Yeah. And
I joined the group and I said, hey, I'm trying to sell a contract for this property. And so we post it. And the cool part is someone hit us up, and it was this like really rich guy. And he's like, oh, my, what is it? My son is actually going to college nearby here. And I need to look for a house for him. And so lo and behold, the son walked by the house, said, yeah, I like it. And so he's going to live in the house. And no, I think he had a job at like a state college there. And so the dad just bought the property cash, and they're renovating it, and the guy's going to live in there. So that's a person who's going to live in that they paid stupid amount. Now those are really rare, but that is what the technical top of the hierarchy is going to be, because they're living in it. They want to live in it. So like, they're not trying to really make a profit on it. It's perfect. Right. And it's like the perfect location, right?
They just want to get it done. And then they have that family tie and connection. So if you guys hear the family tie connection and they've proven that they're a cash buyer, then that's someone we're going to go down the funnel with on them.
Yeah.
Meaning qualifying them.
And then the next one here is really where the honest top's going to be. Like, this is where for like most people it's achievable. Obviously we do things that are kind of extraordinary for most wholesalers. Where I'm talking for like where most people watching this can really start implementing today. I was screaming about this yesterday. I know you watched some of it yesterday, but like I was like going hard in the paint on this.
Okay.
Most people that run like $300K a year businesses, they honestly run $700,000 a year businesses. Their only problem is they're not selling the deal for high enough. They work so hard getting that real estate wholesaling deal, which between you, that's the hardest part in wholesaling is getting that deal signed, right?
Yeah, that was my first 3 years of the business.
Here's the problem. People work so hard getting that deal. They do the marketing, they do the cold calling, the
Mhm.
texting, the hard stuff. And then the first cash buyer that comes by, sold, right? So the thing is, if you just start getting these like top tier cash buyers, you could probably double your business, even triple it. I've seen. So this is my favorite type. This is your favorite type.
Mhm.
The people that just literally leave the hotel of the house flipping seminar that they're really looking into flipping their first or second house. It's like a couple.
Yeah.
They want to be the Chip and Joanna Gaines of the Treasure Coast of Florida. Like those are the people that'll pay the most for most people, right? Like if they make 10% on the flip, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
right?
they think 10% is like an amazing dollar amount. I don't.
Yeah. I get screamed down the Facebook group. They're like, there's no way someone wants to pay 85% of ARV for a house. I'm like,
They do all the time. I mean, it's we actually have the opposite problem right now. So stuff is like when I first started out, I'd set a price for an assignment of contract.
yeah,
And I learned that if you're getting a $10,000 fee, that's what you're getting. Don't negotiate it down.
yeah,
The only time you have to negotiate it down if you bought the property completely wrong.
true.
So
It's literally insane the way these people are doing it because they're just going after the people that they can easily find. If you work a little harder, you can do it. So that's kind of the totem pole. Then you got the person who flips like 3 or 4 houses. We found a lot of really good realtors that they're savvy, but like they're used to on market, so they'll pay a good amount.
mhm.
And then those people get really good, and then they start wanting better deals, and it's just
They work out of your pipeline, but you're okay to sell them the
Yeah.
first few deals. You don't want to sell the same guy or gal 30 or 40 deals because you're going to leave a ton of money on the table. And that kind of reminds me is I know you know my philosophy on this. A first time cash buyer that's never ever done an assignment agreement before, do they usually work out?
oh, never.
They usually miss out on 2 to 4 deals. And then at some point, you bring them into the title company to show them like this is completely legit. So if you have a cash buyer, they're qualified, they kind of tell you like
Mhm.
they're family tied, but they're scared and nervous of an assignment which they've never seen, which is somewhat normal. Most likely they are not going to work out on
Yeah.
that first deal. They usually come back 2 or 3 months. They're like, okay, I'm ready now, Rick.
But here's you have to handhold these people.
But the little tip to do it is what I always recommend is have them go to your title company and have your title company explain it from like a third party authority figure. Because if your title company believes in you, they know you're doing legitimate business, then they just have to understand the mechanics of an assignment agreement. And it's better for letting the professional do it. Not saying you're not professional, but they need to hear it from somebody else that's actually, and what better person than the person that's actually going to ensure the transaction.
I say this so many times because a lot of people, they go to the first cash buyer and they think it's perfect. But here's another part. So now we know kind of the hierarchy of it. Let's go to something super important that most people don't do. Again, this is something that we preach, we scream about, we constantly talk about, and that is really how to vet your buyers. Because maybe you find the right type of buyer, maybe they give you the proof of funds, but if you don't vet them the right way, kind of like that first time buyer,
Mhm.
you're done. So let's kind of go over some of the rules that we have for a new cash buyer, right? Number one, this is probably one of the most important things you have to ask your cash buyer. Ready? Number one, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, are you okay? Let's say you're selling let's say you have it on contract for 50, you're selling it for 80, right?
Mhm.
And you're saying, hey, I'm going to sell this to you for 80. Mr. Cash Buyer, are you okay if I make $79,000 on this deal? Are you okay if I have this property under contract for 1,000 and I make 79 and you buy it at 80? If your cash buyer says no, I'm not comfortable you making that much money on assignment,
Yeah,
you're done.
just
You are
run.
like on to the next one. The thing is, it's human nature. So if I'm buying this deal from you, let's say the house is worth $150,000, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're selling it to me for 120. That's a great deal, right?
Yeah,
For
I
most
agree.
people. But if I found out you had it under contract for 100, I get jealous. Like I could have bought that for 100. And then you start getting jealous, you get upset. And like that's human nature, obviously, right?
Correct.
When when you actually look at it objectively, it's like, hey, he made 20,000. He's probably gonna give me more deals. He has an incentive to go and give me these great deals.
Mhm.
When the cash buyer doesn't understand how much work you put on finding these
Marketing.
deals, they think it's like MLS. You just call people up and
Yeah.
you get the thing is, you have to make sure this cash buyer is not going to be this jealous type when they see you making 40K on a deal and they're like, I don't like how you're making that much. I'm not
So
comfortable with
what's the
that.
best way to phrase that when you're screening them?
That's the way I say, are you okay with me making $79,000 on this deal?
So
And
I
so
I
go
used
ahead.
to say, if I bought the house for $1 and sold you 100 grand, would that upset you? And I just watched for the reaction. That way I didn't even get into the numbers. They go, I'm looking for him like, Rick, I want you to make as much money
it
as you
seems
can.
crazy the way you say that because
It is.
but here's the thing though. So if it's 80 grand, you have it for under contract for $1.
Yeah.
They're like, it's kind of in your head. It's like, yeah, but I'm buying 80, whatever.
Yeah.
They think that's such a stupid number. And then they find out you're making 40 grand on the deal. They're like, no, I'm just buying it for 80 because they have it in their head. Now, if you didn't say a word and they're on the line and like
Uh-huh.
40 plus 40,000, purchase price 40,
Yeah.
Rick Inn's making 40. I have to pay this kid.
Yeah.
This is my favorite because obviously, like, they're looking at me like I have to pay
Yeah.
this 20-year-old kid $40,000. I'm getting screwed on this deal somehow, right? That's what you think. Guys, we had a JV deal once where the JV partner had it under contract. They needed a cash buyer, and they had it under contract, I think, for like 40, and I sold for 100, and I got like 5,000. He like, I'll give you $5 grand. You find a
Yeah.
cash buyer. I'm like, fine.
Those are the old days.
I said I found he was making what 40 on that deal.
Yeah.
I was like, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're looking
don't
for that
care,
initial
right?
reaction. You can use the dollar one. You can use, I'm going to make 20 grand on you. Does that bother you? And you're looking for someone to go, dude, that's great. You busted your butt. I need you to make the money. As opposed to the person goes, they're going to go to the jealousy going, well, that's not fair. What did you do? Like, you're not even a licensed realtor. That's not fair.
oh, it's
I'm telling
illegal.
you, the minute they do that, move on.
Yeah.
You will never convince them. They're always going to try to find some sort of loophole to get out of and just run. Like, end of
Yes.
story.
Next part about vetting your cash buyers, and we are adamant on this. You let me know if I'm wrong in this, but every single instance of a cash buyer screwing a wholesale, and then we have to go talk to you guys on the live of like
Mhm.
what went wrong in the deal. It's because you did not follow the rules that we intact for you guys exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Cash buyers screwed me. Just that's the name of the. It's not.
It's not.
We
at
don't
all.
get screwed by cash buyers. You know why? Because they have to follow our instruction. If they don't, they're not getting the deal.
Yeah. So our assignment agreement, which I believe we share with everybody,
Freewholesling.com. Wait.
it's
Back
got
up. Freewholesling.com. Sorry.
it's got 20 years of experience doing with assignments. I've literally had everything in the world attacked on me. I once took a lien. Ready for this? It was some crazy lien. It took like 90 days to negotiate it down. It was a $68,000 lien, and I got it. I got it down to, ready for this, $12,000. Because I signed an assignment agreement and I did not have a clause in there saying I was entitled to any negotiations on it, the cash buyer took that discount from me.
Yep.
Literally just took it. I hired lawyers. I did everything. And they go, you did not state that in your contract. And guys, I can show you like 8 other incidents I put in the assignment agreement because this happens all the time. You ever had your cash buyer try to circumvent you and contact the seller directly?
Oh, yep.
You know what happens? They void the assignment automatically and they give up their earnest money, which is non-refundable anyways, and it's over.
Yeah. Every single time.
So I'm just telling you, you cannot play the minute. They need to know that they have to go through you with anything that has to do with that seller. And you guys have to have a rock solid assignment agreement to protect you. Period. End of story.
You have to, like, if you don't, they have to follow your instructions, and you have to state that. Also, I think a big thing of why a lot of wholesalers get screwed is because they don't have a non-refundable deposit, and that non-refundable deposit is essential, right?
Correct.
I
So people ask me all the time, Rick, what's the standard like non-refundable deposit? Here's the answer. Get as much as you humanly can because it keeps them on the hook. When they have a non-refundable deposit, you don't have to chase them around to get the title work done, reach out to the title company. When they have like a $5,000 non-refundable deposit, they will jump through hoops for you.
Yep.
The minute it's like $100 or $500, you will be working your butt off to get them to the table. So I look at it this way. dude, either you follow the paperwork or I'm taking your $5,000. Which
Yep.
do you want to do? So you got to get at least 5% in my opinion. So if you have $100,000, 5,000, if you have a 200, I'll go for 10. I don't care. What that does is it makes them pay attention, and you're not a professional babysitter.
Yep.
And another little trick, I've had people enter into the assignment agreement and then they go, well, the check's in the mail. I tried to send the wire. It's a holiday. You've got till the end of that business day to get that money in there, or that contract is void. I'm not playing this game. I know what they're doing. They're shopping around for a buyer and they're trying to daisy chain it on me. You got to cut that crap out. Like right
you have
away.
to.
You have to.
It gets so annoying. Like it drives me crazy, but that's the honest truth here. So that guys, you got to vet your buyers out. Again, freewholesaling.com. We kind of break it more into detail. So let's get into actually how do you find the cash buyers? I think that's probably the most valuable part of what we're talking about today. And
let's do it.
I know it's annoying. We always say this, but it is the easiest part in wholesaling, finding the cash buyer.
You still have to do it.
Marketing's the lifeline of this business.
You still have to do it.
You still have to do it. I mean, it's not easy. Like our Dispo team works our butts off doing it, but I'm telling you, it's more practical. It's not less high sales because of just how easy the market is today. But sometimes it's a little nuts. That's all I got to say. So how do we get it? I think one of the easiest ways for most people finding cash buyers, number one, just go to your 4 rents. I think the 4 rents is probably the simplest way to do it. Literally, like the script is so simple. Ready? Ring, ring, ring. Hi, do you have this 123 Main Street for rent still? Yes. Are you the owner? Yes. Are you looking to buy? I'm actually not looking to rent it, but are you looking to buy any more rentals? No. Click. Have a great day. Click. Or yes, I am. Boom. Go into the conversation.
Most typical Americans, we think we can do everything. I'd probably say 85% of real estate investors manage their own properties. So they actually do the for rent signs, answer the phones. And I'm fine with it. I'm just giving you the backside of the story is if they're that transparent, then you can go directly to them. It's really not even hard. And you don't even have to skip trace it because the number's right there on the sign.
Yeah. I got a lot of trouble the other day, yesterday, because when I said real estate rentals wasn't passive income, go to see where most rentals are. They're taking 10 calls a day for tenants. Once you get over 50 like rentals, that's not passive.
Listen, I can tell you right now, one's not even passive.
No,
I'm just like tenants. There's constant care. There's maintenance. There's rent collections. There's paperwork. There's update. There's deposits. There's expenses. So every you add, it goes on. So
every single time. So that's it. Another really good way. How we're kind of putting the thumbnail. Like how to get 100 cash buyers a day. I've done this pretty simple. Like I've done lives where I just pulled hundreds of cash buyers in like 2 hours. But you just go to Facebook groups, the real estate investing groups, wholesaling groups. I don't allow my group, obviously, just because we don't allow spam on the group. But number one, all you got to do is go to these groups, search. I say this every single time. Search at gmail.com. And then you'll see posts that say, where are my cash buyers at? Where are my cash? People drop their email. And if you search it, you just copy and paste it and have emails. And then you cold email these people. Also, you can Facebook message these people. It's simple.
Yeah,
I say it every time.
Listen, you spend all this energy cold calling and stuff like that. So when you go to the buyers list, just take like an hour and just rip through it and have fun because you're not really selling anything. You're just collecting data. And make sure you vet the buyers and walk through the process and don't let them waste your time. If you're all over the board, this will literally take you days to do. If you have a plan and you know how to vet them, you can kick those 70% of tire kickers right out of there right away.
That's it. So let me pop this up really quick and just share since this is a live show. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button, subscribe. I'm just in a cash buyers and investors group. Search at gmail.com. Legit, this is what I do. Let's see. We got a wholesaler here, but oh yeah.
See, I bet it was funny.
So Luis Mira says, "Hi, I'm an investor. We pay cash. Love to team up with you." Let's just go to a regular one. Good evening, off-market properties. Just trying to cash buyers looking for a facelift. Please add me to your buyers list. So that's a cash buyer right there. Hit up Vincent. These are just people putting it in. You just go to the comments here. What? Looking for motivated cash buyers. Look, they're all dropping their email in here. Let that load up. Boom, we got cash buyer, cash buyer, cash buyer. Like I'm just saying, it's really simple. You can also post, hey, is there any cash buyers in Phoenix in these groups or whatever? And they'll drop their email. We don't allow in our group because our group's a mastermind, not a cash buyers. I have a subgroup for cash buyers in there.
Yeah, it would be
But
filled. You'd never get through the pages.
It'd be
if we do
terrible.
that,
So I'm telling you right now, it's a great way to do it. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know why a lot of people do that, but it's crazy. So what I can tell you is Facebook groups are absolutely insane right now. Next part here is cold calling cash sales. I cannot stress this enough. Cash buyers are people that are buying real estate with their own funds, right?
correct.
They're buying it for cash. So how do you find these people? Get a list of all the cash sales and then call those people, see if they want to buy more houses for cash. That's like at the deepest root of it.
It's a welcome call too. They love getting calls like that.
Percent. All right. So if you look at these cash buyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What percentage would you put that have already bought a house for cash before and already investment property?
80, 90%.
80, 90%.
Yeah.
So they're going to be on that cash sale list, this cash buyer list. So if you go to listrei.com, batch leads, you can go out there and pull cash buyers. Like it's really simple. Like I'll show you really quick, like how simple it is.
I could do an old show on how I used to get cash buyers back in the day. It was painful, man. You have no idea how painful
I'll
it
make
was.
a segment for you.
We ran ads in newspapers and we mailed to everybody.
Yeah, I'll make a segment for you called Back in My Day. Okay. Do you like that? Back in my day.
I'm just telling you.
You ran for an hour on it. Oh my gosh.
Ran an ad. I used to love that.
Oh my gosh. So let's pop it up here. Let's just pop up batch leads really quick. Hold on, where are we at? Okay. Share my screen. So we'll do like Broward County, Florida right here. Broward. Oh yeah. So let's pop it up here.
Our old stomping ground.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
I can tell you some things back in Broward in the day.
Oh, I know.
There
Okay.
actually
So
used to be vacant land. Look at that.
Look out west. That's all agricultural though. But so we're in Broward County, kind of crazy, but that's Florida, right? This is all developed and this is all like farmland. But you go to filter here. All you really got to do is go down to cash buyers. And then, cash purchase, yes. Buy amount. I would max it out at like 700K. And then you can like go by demographics, owner type, company. I just like all, so I don't really care. And then I can I get property characteristics, people that have bought in residential. You can get really into it. Single family only, right? If you have a single family house, and then you go to filter and then search it. So, oops. Hold on, things in the way. There you go, apply. Stupid camera's always in the way. But then you got a big one. So obviously we can get it down a little more. We do it by purchase date. Let's do the past year, like the past week, right? So where's apply? Right there. Past week we had, all right. So I guess the cash sales didn't go on. So I'll just do the past month, 4 weeks.
30 days.
So it's got a batch just to update the list there. But I got 97. And then boom, you hit those people up. Like it's pretty simple to do. 125th Terrace, Mabel Wang. So her mailing address is there. So here's one thing about batch, which I really like. Here's my problem. Do you see how her mailing address is this address? I mean, she lived in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a cash buyer. They just bought their own house for cash. So you go out here to filters. So the cool part about batch is when you go up here, you go to the cash buyer section, go to exclude properties where mailing and property address are the same. And then you're going to apply that again, and it's going to get a little smaller. Now you got 29, which is perfect, right? So this looks like an investment property right here in Hollywood. So, all right, mailing address is still the same there. All right, let me exclude it one more time. So it'll pop up these right here, and should do pretty well there. Those are really cool. Just cold call them and exclude it from there. I think I gotta search this one more time. Where is it? Oops.
You're clicking the buttons too fast for me.
I know.
You give me a headache.
So you got this one right here, 1950s house, RA Investment Homes LLC. That's their mailing address, Miami Beach. Cool. So could be a cash buyer. So pretty important. Kind of the same thing you do in PropStream. Broward County. So pop it up here. So right here, we are actually in PropStream. And the cool part about this is, let me get out of here so you can see it. Let's see. So we're in Broward here.
Okay, so we're pulling up on Broward, and we're just showing you the difference between the two different types of softwares on here. So you're going to pull up the filters? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to pop it up here. So go here. So really all you got to do is go to filter here, and then you do a quick list. You do cash buyers, cash sales. You can go through kind of what the properties, but I just do the cash buyers tab, and then I filter it from there. Owner occupied, vacant, anything like that. Property characteristics, single family. You can kind of do it yourself. But owner occupied, no there, and then it's pretty simple. Then they got that, and then you can do it by date of the cash sale also. It gets pretty simple, and then you can do it by filter of the date bought. So do the same on both platforms. Not too bad, but they're really not that complicated. So
yeah, they're both a little bit different, and some people like this side, some like that. We try to use both, so we can completely understand it.
So that's kind of how you pull them on there. But just understand, guys, that they're both going to pull cash buyers pretty much the same. Like these are public records. So really what they're doing is they're going for sales of public records, and they're just finding people that are buying these houses without any mortgages or liens. So like a lien would be like for a loan from a bank or something. And that's how they're pulling it it's a really simple way. This isn't like a complicated like pre-probates where they have to go through decedent records and then cross-reference. Cash buyers are simple.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Anything that's funded with a mortgage has a separate recording document, and then it's going to code it on there. So it's like very black and white. It's either cash or a mortgage.
Yeah, even if you want to, you go to public records and actually go through the deeds and do it yourself if you want. A little more complicated.
You can. Just do it back in the day.
Yeah.
We did. Every county codes a transaction if it's cash or mortgage or some sort of change in the deed. So you can always, all files you can tell by deed, and if there's a mortgage recorded. Then after that, the information that gets parsed it's because it varies so much county to county.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you look in this county, it's a great list, and then you go over to this state, you do the same thing. You're like, I don't understand. It doesn't pop up anything. The counties all do them a little bit differently. We have that issue right here in South Florida.
Yeah. So just understand that. But cold calling cash flow is probably one of the best ones. And then next here are like hedge funds. And I'm telling you, it depends on what market you're in. But if you're in a market where there's hedge funds, they will buy almost over what any cash buyer is going to pay for it, just because it's kind of institutional money, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you find hedge funds? Really got to go to those 4 rents and find the big players and talk to the property management companies. You go to cash sales kind of down PropStream and actually look at these companies. And then when you pull these lists, you'll have like John Smith Equity Partners LLC, and it says linked properties on like batch. No, PropStream has the linked properties, and it's like this person owns 500 properties. You actually go on PropStream and go by linked properties. I'll show you really quick how to find like a hedge fund on like PropStream, aka listrei.com. It's really simple to do, and it's kind of another reason why we have it. It's super easy to do. So we're gonna log in here, and I don't know why I exit out of it. I gotta re-log in here, but find hedge funds on here. So we'll go to, I feel like it's cheating, but I mean, I'll use Broward just because it's kind of simple. Broward. So I go filters here. cash buyers, and then ownership info. And then you see where it says number of properties owned. Now we want to go after cash buyers where the person's owned, let's say at minimum 100 properties, right? So we're going to go to 100 minimum. And then boom, you have, so let's say 6800 Northwest 39th Avenue, Coconut Creek. Country Lakes MHC, LLC. They own 100. That probably might be an HOA though. So we can exclude HOAs, but like 2406 Polk Street in Hollywood, this SA Corporation, Linked Properties, they own 101 with 21 million in value, and they only have $1 million in loans. So they have 20 million in portfolio equity. I would technically call that a hedge fund, like 20 million, right? It ain't bad. So I'm saying like this person I'd call right now. How do you call these people? So all you really got to do is go to the property details. Do you see where it says mailing address? I'm going to search that mailing address. Oh, wait. So it's a Delaware. Trying to see their phone number. So MC operation there. Yeah, you're just gonna have to call these people. So right here it has their phone number. So you just search them. The phone number will pop up. But it's a pretty easy way to find hedge funds. Like I just go to how many properties they own. If someone owns over 100, I would call it sort of a hedge fund. You go to there's ones that own thousands, right?
Mhm.
And I did a whole video on this, guys. Just look up hedge funds, space Flip with Rick on there. It'll pop up. Pretty simple. But that's how we do it. I mean, hedge funds have their own problems. Obviously, it's more corporate, but it's really not that complicated too much. So it's definitely a great one, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're better with the hedge funds than I am. I tell you, when we do get a hedge fund, it is a lot of fun. The communication is a little bit rough in the beginning, but if you can crack that code and get with them, I would literally sell every property I could to a hedge fund. It takes a little bit more time sometimes,
but you get more money, right?
You get more
Like
money
for a lot
and
of people. You can almost double your business selling the hedge fund. So if they're in your market, let's do it. So if someone's owning 100 properties in your county, they're in your market.
And this is a great way and a positive way to work with other wholesalers in your community, because these hedge funds are buying hundreds, if not thousands of properties. So like we only have so much inventory. So me holding the hedge fund, if I give it to Zach, it really doesn't take away from his inventory. It actually makes him look better. And so I'll talk a little bit about tomorrow and stuff like that. But wholesalers, we're so competitive, and like we'll all act like, we come from an abundant mindset, but like we fight each other, and it blows me away. When it comes to hedge funds, everybody should hold hands and like make it work, because me holding a hedge fund from you, it doesn't help me.
Nope.
And it doesn't help you. So if I can leverage it and say, hey, Zach, will you work with me? Just be nice to me and stop like making mean tweets about me. Well, I'll let you share my hedge fund. Guys, it's that simple. And sometimes, you know what? And honestly, if I give it to him and he wants to give me a spiff off the deal, then great. Don't ever rely on that, because it rarely happens that way.
Yeah.
But hedge funds are they're a great tool. You guys hold them to yourselves. It doesn't help you at all. I'm telling you.
They're not like secrets. I have cash buyers that are just like, I used to think, oh my gosh, I have to be that cash buyer only knows about me. And then, someone like me will go market for cash transactions, and they're like, oh, I'm going this wholesale. I'm like, great.
Well, that's a great question. Do you think cash buyers are loyal?
They're not loyal.
They're
loyal to the next
deal.
deal.
Run you under the bus.
They'll run you under the bus.
I see them go around realtors like to a point. It's
terrible.
but with wholesalers, I promise you, they will work around you. If they have a way to go around you, they will. So you got to make sure you follow a protocol with it
every single time. Just understand that, guys. So the next part here are realtors. Realtors are some of the best cash buyers. Yes, you have to pay realtors. A lot of wholesalers with like a scarcity mindset, they don't like that. But if you pay them like $5,000, you could probably get an extra 15, 20K out of the deal. Like they have end buyers.
Realtors are right up there with hedge funds with me, because number one, they've trained their client. So here's how I look at a realtor. I'll entertain your offer, understanding you manage your client. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to deal with them. And you've got to know, like, is this their type of property? So I ask him tell me some addresses of properties he's bought like this. So if I have a heavy rehab, I got to make sure this guy knows what he's doing, like on a rehab.
Yeah.
But they know him. And my favorite type of realtor, ready for this?
Mhm.
I've already seen it. He'll take it. Well, he hasn't been here. Like, no, he trusts me. Like,
Yeah.
what I say goes. I'm like, and
Yeah.
I'll go and I've had realtors go like this. He goes, I can probably get you an extra $5,000 if you. I'll get you on this one if you keep feeding me more deals. I'll even get you more money. I'm like, dude, sign me up. I had an epiphany on this actually 7 years ago, and I haven't looked back since then. So this is where like wholesaling came in. We didn't really call it that back then, but because we did it all offline, we didn't even put it on MLS. We'd go to the realtor and say, hey, I got a deal. And the premise is you net more with the realtor. And so many go, well, I got to pay a realtor. Like, I don't want to pay him. Actually, you should think the opposite, because
Yeah.
you are going to make probably 15 to 30% more with the realtor, even with a 5, 10, whatever the cost is. And it's all negotiable because I don't have a signed listing with this realtor. So
You
you
don't.
actually have the upper hand. But honestly, if they bring you a buyer that never looks at it, he or she is the sole decision maker, and they're qualified and they're ready to go. By the way, these realtors will not waste your time on this part because they don't want to work for free. So
No.
they are my favorite. If you guys think realtors are expensive, I'm telling you, they're typically throwing you an extra 10 to 20 grand. So if their fees 2,000 to 6,000, who cares? Even if it's 10,000, if
It
the
doesn't
numbers are
matter.
there.
It's ridiculous. Like it doesn't matter. So realtors are, guys, they are important. They're great. Go after them. I'm telling you right now, they're awesome. The next part here is JV partners, right?
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people struggling to get a cash buyer. I think JV's pretty important. I see a lot of people, they lose it on deals because they just give up on the cash buyer, when if you just JV with someone, they could really do it for you, like a lot of it. So of course, the worst part about JVing is you give up half the deal. Like that is the con, right? That's pretty expensive. But if you have no other option, it's great. Or you just want to deal with somebody who wants to help you out, fine.
What's half a zero though?
That's the thing. So
That's how you got to look at it.
I don't think JVing should be your first option, but it's definitely one you should look at, like of actually how to actually sell a deal. Not really too bad, right? And obviously we JV with people all the time, but I tell you, hey, if you already have your own cash buyer, I'm not. Our Dispo team says it. If you already have a cash buyer, we don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, the idea is I always looked at when I JV, especially when I did it early, I knew I was going to give up some of the profit. There's no way around it. And number two is, as long as I learned something that made me a better wholesaler, I was all about it. And I've had it go both ways. I've done JVs where the person did nothing and they shared no knowledge with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing business with them again. And then I've had ones that went so far and above beyond. I'm like, man, I got to give this check like 3 more deals. Like it was that good. And so if you're going to partner with someone, make sure you're getting a benefit from it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're getting the cash credentials.
True.
You've learned how to work with cash buyers and how to walk through it. And it's really important. There's so many things. I don't even have time to go on this thing, or we'll never take questions. Like,
go into it. Get it.
well, like on the assignment agreement, you guys know if you have a contract for 30 days, like you enter on the 1st and expires on the 31st, your assignment agreement has to give you at least 7 to 10 days before the expiration date. Why?
Yeah.
Because if your buyer fails and doesn't perform, you have the ability to get an extension so you can get another buyer to do what you need to do. And you're typically going to have to offer a little bit more money to keep everybody on the hook.
Yeah.
And once you give that contract over, unless you spell it out in the assignment agreement, you have to close by the 20th.
Mhm.
They have till the 30th, 31st on the original terms of your contract. So you guys really have to learn and understand on a cash buyer. Once you sign that agreement for an assignment agreement, if you don't stipulate the closing date, it automatically reverts back to the closing date on the contract. And then if you waited till the last day, he didn't find you, you're the one that has to pick up the pieces. It's painful.
Oh, yeah.
Because who's that seller going to contact? They're going to contact us, you, me. And I don't like to be in that position. So make sure you leave your room on the assignment agreement.
You got to leave room in there. So guys, if you want to JV with us, just go to www.flipwiththerick.com/JV. You're not JVing with you and you're JVing with my Dispo team. So obviously, I've already said our Dispo team, they've wanted in on the internet thing that we do, like
Yeah.
teaching people, and say, you know what, whatever you do a side hustle if you want. We're getting money on this. So,
But they're great.
yeah.
I mean, they're self-taught by me and Zach, and it's like what we do in our business. So we would love to work with people. We do everything for free. So you know how we operate. We're completely opposite of what everybody else does.
and we're
on the
not a
internet.
cash buyer. Like this isn't a dispo company. This isn't like you give us a deal, we'll give you a cash buyer, because then you're gonna constantly need us, and I don't like that.
I don't know.
So our dispo team will teach you how to like get the cash buyer. They'll talk with you, talk with the cash buyer, talk to the seller if you need to, do
Yeah.
the walkthrough. But honestly, at the end of the day, if you need to help sell your deal, go hit them up. Dispo team will help you out. You'll get some calls from us when you close with us.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do that. So if you do close with our dispo team, we'll give you a call after and help you out. But
Yeah, we got some neat neat stuff
you got
for you.
neat stuff in there. But telling
One
you,
of a kind stuff.
so if you want to go JV with us, it's www.flipthrift.com/JV. We do not sell coaching. We don't sell information. The only thing we do is we JV with you guys, and we do pretty well with that. So
Yeah, we work on the deal. So make sure you have a deal and make sure you understand you are working through it. Like we're here to help give instructions.
Yeah.
I've trained the best in the business. They know exactly how I operate. And then we'll get involved as much as we need it. But, they got to be good deals. We're not looking just like for average deals. And listen, you walk away with a check, you learn something new in the business. And then once I can make some money with somebody on a deal, you're permanently connected to us.
exactly. So this is the part where do we pedal the cash buyer course now, or do we wait till the end to pedal it? So guys, for $997, we have our cash buyer course.
Yeah, there's literally a course for like everything.
gosh,
I looked through a list the other day. I'm like, my God. So tomorrow,
What's worse? Have you ever gone to a restaurant and it's like all a la carte? Like you get a burger and they're like, oh, the fries are $4 extra. And I'm like, I'm having a burger. I need fries with that. They're like, oh, that's like these gurus are like, I'll teach you how to do cash buyers, but the acquisitions course, and then you got I'm like,
it's
my
a
gosh.
sushi bar. You ever go to a sushi bar
Oh,
on the a la
it's
carte?
terrible.
I'm like, my God, it's $200 by the time I picked out these 6 or 7
soy
rolls.
sauce, $30. I'm like,
Love
that's
me
Palm
some
Beach for
yeah,
you.
love me some
I'm just telling you guys, like we give it all for free. So
and it all ties in, but it's you guys are smart. Like this business, I've always said, I don't care what route you take. I think wholesaling is very simple. It's straightforward. You have to take action. You have to follow through and get it done. If you pay someone or you do it for free, it's still always going to be on you. And you have to remember that. There is no magic pill where you pay someone. They're not going to do it for you. I promise you. And neither are we.
every single time. All right, I put the music in the background.
Oh my gosh.
So
Let's start dancing.
We're starting answering questions. So we got the music in the back, ended it up. So that's the honest truth at the end of the day. So let's go. This is Thursday. So this is where we do our free one-on-one calls. You have a question that you have to do. If you are part of the Wholesaling House of Real Mastermind, which all you gotta do is just being our Wholesaling House of Real Facebook group, the largest group by active members, the largest group by growth. People coming in every single month in the group. It's definitely the biggest one. So on the link there's a link to join. So let me show you exactly how I get all the
show us.
I get this question all the time. Zach, how do I get these one-on-ones with you? I had a DM today that said, Zach, I was told what today on a DM that I don't give enough value.
Yeah.
They said that just because I don't personally answer his DMs, that I am actually not providing value, as I say, and I'm actually a fraud because I didn't answer their DM because you got stuck under 2,000 DMs in the past month. So I always tell everyone, if you have a burning question and you get upset at me that I don't answer your DM, because the only thing I've told everyone is I will answer every single YouTube comment. That is the only thing I have been able to do, because the way YouTube comments worked on my YouTube studio thing is it will give me a list of all comments I haven't answered yet. Instagram, no other platform does except YouTube, where I can go through a list of comments that are unanswered, and then when I answer it, it gets off my list. So YouTube's the only one where I wish TikTok did that. I can't do it on TikTok, but YouTube's the only platform where if you ask a comment, I can actually go down a list of like from the oldest to newest comments I haven't answered. So I can actually do that. So I'll personally answer any YouTube comments. But if you're mad I can't only answer a DM, I'm sorry. I get too many DMs. But if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you have a burning question, I'm going to show you exactly how to go on there. So you just go here to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Let me share my screen. That's my favorite.
I mean, who else offers a service like this? It's insane.
For some people, it's never enough. They want it in private. But if I answer a question, I personally want everyone to benefit from it. So you go here, Wholesaling House for Real. How do I get the glue? Oh, featured free one-on-one call today. Here's the StreamYard link, right? Boom. I don't think it's that complicated. So you just go to featured here. It's always on the top. An hour ago, I posted the link. Hop on and actually talk to us one-on-one, because if you do that, you could possibly, if you hop on, you actually will 100% be able to talk. Kind of like Bobby Digital here, who is able to talk to us, right?
I like it.
So, Bobby, can you hear me?
I can.
Bobby,
Hey, Zach. I got you, brother.
What's up?
Oh, just loving listening to you and Rick as far as going through. This is my first time actually tuning in on StreamYard from YouTube. So this is
Awesome.
this is a pleasure, brother.
Awesome, man.
Cool.
Welcome. So it's Bobby, right?
It is
All right, cool, Bobby. So, Bobby, what market are you in?
Ohio,
Ohio. Where in Ohio?
up in the AK Rowdy Akron.
Akron. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is south of Cleveland, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's an interesting market, low ARV, but definitely be able to get a good amount of deals. So tell me, what's up? What's your question? How can I help you out?
Well, just looking to try and figure out. I've been looking at the ROS system as far as you guys have put together, looking to branch out. What would you feel the I would say going straight direct as far as the mail marketing per month would be an acceptable amount for to put towards that?
Well, I mean, Rick is the direct mail expert, but before I ask, I want to ask you this: how many deals have you done per? I'm just being blunt with you. How many deals have you done?
Just one, and that's
Just one.
that's exactly why I'm here. As far as I'm on the went through the entire course, so very, very new, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'm going to be blunt with you. If you've only done one deal, I probably wouldn't be spending money in direct mail. Like, what's your opinion? You're the direct mail guy.
Well, I didn't have a choice back in the day. There wasn't a lot of options.
So you didn't get your first deal from direct mail,
no, I didn't.
or your second.
No, I
so
really,
you've
it was
done
about
some
five-
deals.
It was about 6 deals
So-
before I did it. But it's what Zach's trying to say is the idea is to use as much hustle as you can in the beginning, because the more sellers you
Get
can
your
talk
skills
to.
up. Direct
And get
mail
your
is a
skills up.
skill set.
Because when direct mail comes in, there's a lot of assumptions made. They assume you know what the
Yeah.
heck you're doing, and they can be a little bit rougher. But here's the catch with direct mail. Cold calling SMS will always be your cheapest cost per lead, but it's going to be the most amount of work, in my opinion. When you go to direct mail, it switches the other way. They're the highest cost per lead, but they're the least intrusive, meaning it's kind of convenient. Like you can answer your phone at
Kind
will.
of, it is.
It is convenient, and you can go. So what most people do is they go until the hustle kind of runs dry, and they've got a bunch of profit, and they go, okay, now I'm going all in with direct mail. Because the real challenge with direct mail, and I'll tell you right here, Bobby, is the amount of volume you have to do, and that's what's going to kill most new wholesalers.
Yeah.
You know, if you had to send out 5,000 pieces at roughly 50 cents a pop, I don't need to do math for you. I mean, that's what it's going to require to get going.
I just don't need to blow your budget and then like you have no budget to do anything else, right? Like you got to look at ROI. Like us, we'll spend maybe 10, 15K in direct mail a month, but we get hundreds of thousands back. But think about this, technically at a technical level, wouldn't you get a better ROI if you cold call or SMS text blast? Yes. Is it worth the hassle for us? No.
Well, so part of it is kind of speed, convenience, and
Yeah.
price per lead. A lot of people complain about direct mail. It's so expensive. But honestly, a lot of these other things, if you're not doing it yourself, meaning you're not doing the cold calling and the SMS campaign, you typically have to pay someone or pay them a part of the deal. And if you go dollar for dollar, I promise you direct mail will compare with those. So I did about 6 deals till I even broke into direct mail. But if you have a skill set and you're highly confident in talking to people, you could do it. What the biggest mistake I see people do with direct mail is they try tiny little 100-piece mailings, and they typically don't work unless it's a highly, highly specialized list. It's just my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah. So I think it was, so I'm trying to balance at least the thought process was the 9 to 5 as far as in turning this into the 5 to 9. So it was, I have the revenue to put towards, the campaign. So I was just thinking as far as being a little bit easier that way. But, I've been going up to the courthouse and pulling lists and everything like the videos.
So what was your profit on your first deal?
5,000.
And
Okay.
how did you find that deal?
Friend of a friend. So it was not off a list. Yeah. So there's only a few of those around, right?
Yeah. Okay. I always tell, hey, how do you get your first deal? Double down on that. So either get a lot more friends or we're gonna do some marketing. So
Yep.
I would like to see you put more of a cush in the bank account before you start. Because, by the way, once you start direct mail, like you got to stick to it. There's no turning it on and off. Like it's either on or you can't do it 1 month and just stop. Like a lot of people do that. I've never understood that. I promise you will have bad months in direct mail. It's the truth. Nobody hits it out of the park every mailing. But the guys who do the best in direct mail, they're extremely consistent. So I would like to have, like at least 20 grand set aside and go, okay, I'll take 5 grand and I will give it 4 months to go through direct mail.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be patient, because direct mail is not a category where you push all your chips in. If I don't get a deal out of this, I'm done, because you will be done. Direct mail is a little bit slow, but it's highly effective and it is convenient, especially if you're working, because that's how I got into direct mail. I was working a full-time job. And after I got around 5 deals, I had some extra money. I go, well, this will be a lot more convenient if I do it this way. I made so many mistakes in the beginning, but because I had no course to teach me.
that's true, man. So mailing mastery is like how we teach it all absolutely for free.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is, in my opinion, you're in Akron, drawing for dollars is going to be the king there. And then you're working 9 to 5. Why don't you ever consider, because if you honestly direct mail, drawing for dollars, you cold call really an hour a day. Like if you drive for dollars on the weekends and then skip trace on the weekends and then cold call an hour a day on a single line dialer, you're going to be full, right?
Yeah. But, keep in mind, I cold called who I had to. I was more comfortable door knocking than actual cold calling because I was more effective at it.
You're crazy.
But he loves the cold call. I've always loved direct mail.
I cold call that a necessity, right? Yeah.
I know,
so,
but Bobby, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision what's like best for your schedule, because I'm not in it. And I just like to see you get like 1 or 2 more deals under your belt, because direct mail can become addictive. And I don't want it to be like the one-stop shop, the only way you get a deal. Because there's a ton of ways to get them. But I love driving for dollars. I get it. There's only so many hours in a day and you're working. Direct mail will work. I'm just saying, when you start it, you do not want to turn it off. And if you're starting to run out of funds and it gets a little bit tight, they can be challenging. If you have enough revenue coming from income from your other sources like a job, and you can afford it to, I would just go to that mailing mastery deep.
he did.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
go deep, and then reach out to OLM that handles the direct mail, and they'll walk you through and help you out with it. Like we go into that thing detailed.
Now, if you want to do direct mail, do it. We recommend the ROS mailing mastery, the offer postcard there, but
It works.
I just want you to understand, I don't want you to be forced to do that or be in a bad position where you can't do the acquisitions when you do it. Because direct mail is kind of closer to a more advanced tactic. You could do it starting out. It's just going to cost money. I just hate for you to blow your whole budget.
Yeah,
and
so
that's about where it's at right now. Is roughly about 20K saved up to really to start hopefully deploying here soon. So consistency being key.
What I would do is come up with a marketing schedule, and then come up with a budget. And that is the one thing that will make a huge difference in direct mail. You can't just wing it. So if you're going to spend 10, 12 grand, whatever it is for the year, 20 grand, then schedule it out. Like that's it. And the beauty of direct mail right now, you actually click a few buttons once you get your list straightened out. It's so much easier than whenever I started out. But you have to be extremely consistent. Nobody goes in 1 month and kills it in direct mail. It just doesn't work that way. It usually takes at least a quarter to get the flow going and get regular stream of leads.
Yeah, and let me
coming in.
ask you another question, Bobby. Have you done your research on Akron, how other wholesalers are getting deals?
Yeah, primarily direct mail seems to be very effective in the local area. So that's
Definitely an option. You just got to do your whole analysis of it and see. Because you could drive for dollars. A 9 to 5 is probably one of the best ones still, because you got the weekends off.
Yeah. Listen,
So-
I tell everybody, you got to find what matches like your lifestyle and your time frame. And if you're okay giving up like money to do it,
If you're willing to get the risk, do it.
But the challenge is you have to spend time really practicing when you talk
Yeah.
to people. And here's the other key: you got to find a way to have somebody answer those phones live. It's make it or break it in direct mail, because
speed.
yeah, people like to talk to like real people, and you don't answer it like a company. Just say, this is Bobby. If it's not you. So like when I first started out, my wife would help me answer the phones because I was like working a full-time job. And then when I got home, I took care of all the phones. The old days, we used to let them go to voicemail. Today, there's no way I would invest that kind of money without answering the phones.
I greatly appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate everything and all the rest of the shows and giving it away as you guys do for free. So it helps.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Any other questions you got?
No, I won't take up everybody else's time. I was kind of on the spot here. I've got a long list in the other room, so I appreciate it though.
You know where we are, so
Yeah, hit us
Absolutely.
up. Always here to help.
let us know
Yes,
how
sir.
it works out. Okay. Good job, Bobby.
Cheers.
Thanks. All right. Let's see here. Cool.
I don't understand that part.
All right, you just pop the people out. All right, so let's answer some questions really quick, and then we'll talk to Daniel. So let's see here. So Steve says 2 important things: good competent and great cash buyers list. 100%. Justin, smash that like button like the Hulk. Tila, smash the like button. Love it, guys. What's up? What's up? All right. So Aaron asked a question here. Is 5 hours per day enough to get one deal a month? Yes. 5 hours a day, yes. If you're driving for dollars, cold calling, that should be good. Even if you're hand dialing, if you're using government lists, hands down. 5 hours cold calling, that's what I did. That's easy. Rich says, what happens when 2 wholesalers have the same house under contract?
Oh, I know the answer to this
Uh,
one. Dude, Rich, if I told you how many times that happened to me.
A painful amount.
So
How many times it happened to me? Are you
the
kidding me?
only way that happens is somebody was brutally dishonest. Like
Yep.
either the seller or the wholesaler. I've had both of them do it to me. You're not doing enough deals if you haven't had this happen to you.
Oh my gosh, the worst.
The best way, honestly, to do it is you want to sit down with the seller first and then just establish a timeline. End of story. Here's how the law reads. If you wind up going to court on it, it's whoever had the first contract, and you have to have clear definitive dates.
Whoever
on it.
has the contract first and who can prove they had under contract first. That's why I always scream to everybody, get that earnest money in instantly.
Yeah. So, so either you have a seller's being dishonest or the wholesaler. If it's both, it's honestly, it's easier just to walk away, in my opinion. But I also let the seller know, and listen, I'm not an attorney, but the seller has huge liability when they sign 2 contracts.
Yep.
They are guilty. There's no other word. But keep in mind, you are the professional, so you're going to be held to a higher standard than the homeowner.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's going to get work with the seller and go from
Yeah.
there, because odds are the other wholesaler is not going to want to work with you, and
Yeah.
let the seller know you've entered into 2 contracts and you need to fix this.
Bring us back to that story. I think I said the story of how we almost got a $70,000 deal stolen. Remember that with Donald Duck?
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling him Donald Duck because I don't want to say his name. But anyone in South Florida probably knows who Donald Duck is. This was back when I was 19 years old, I think. I had a property under contract with a lady in Port St. Lucie. Amazing deal. Making
Good deal.
70K on this deal. And I have it under contract. And then she signs it with me. Next day, Donald Duck
Send in a licensed realtor to do it.
send in a licensed realtor, Donald Duck's daughter,
Mhm.
Donna Duck, called Donna Duck. Donna Duck decides to say that he's 19, he has no money, he's screwing you. His contract, just because he's too young, is null and void. You can just go with me. I'll give you, hear me out, $3,000 more if you go with me.
Yeah.
All it took for the seller to be like, I'm going to screw this other guy over. She cut me out cold turkey, the seller,
Yeah.
and ignored me. I go up to her house like, hey, it's been a week. You haven't answered my calls. Everything okay? Literally, I ring the doorbell like twice. She looks through the window. She opens the peephole. The window sees me.
Yeah.
Close it. Doesn't like it.
Well,
And and then I'm like, shoot, what do I do? Right. So
Yeah.
then what we have to do is this when like we finally are starting to work together. We literally got ignored everywhere. I talked to Donald Duck. I literally call him. I get his personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, you're a kid. You ain't gonna do anything about this." Hangs up with me. He's like, you're talking to a true professional. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
Dude's been wholesaling for 40 plus years. So he scoffs at me, and I'm like, "Oh, you are messing with again right now. If there's something about me, if you tell me to go F myself and you just try to screw me off a $70,000 deal, especially when I'm 19 years old,
Yeah.
I take it personal.
Yeah.
I took that, like the Michael Jordan meme, I took that personally. I took it personally. So we hired a lawyer, threatening to sue this guy for everything he owned. He has a lot of pride. He's a rich dude.
Yeah. We had the lawyer lay out
my
the paper
gosh.
trail. We could have taken down the broker,
Yeah, he's a
the
licensed
agent.
oh
and
my
it was
gosh.
his
I was
daughter was
ready.
the licensed agent.
Donna Duck.
And then also I could have sued him for damages. And we just
I
said,
was
listen,
ready. I was so pumped.
if you want, we'll do it, but we're just going to sue you because I'm very adverse in doing this, and it's going to be a problem.
Guess what happened?
eventually,
So Donald Duck.
Well, tell them
calls us.
how we stopped the deal. They tried to close on it too
Oh
fast.
yeah, they try to close on it.
Here's a
So
great trick if someone does it to you.
we
What do
did
you
an
do?
affidavit of equitable interest.
Well, what'd you do?
But here's the thing. Here's the
Who'd
thing.
you call?
Ghostbusters.
You called the title company.
I call it title. No, let's break this. Let's break this back a little really quick. Also on this deal, the reason why I found out who Donald Duck was, I forgot to mention this. It's because he filed an affidavit right when he signed it. So I signed it on the 19th. I signed it on the 19th.
Correct.
And then he signed the contract on the 20th. He made the mistake here.
Yeah.
He didn't know. He didn't know what my contract was. I think he signed on like the 22nd, 23rd. So he tried to backdate it.
He tried to backdate.
But he didn't backdate it enough, which was good for it because he could have ruined this deal for us. He put an affidavit for 120, which was lying.
Yeah.
I had a contract for 119, and I emailed the title company and I sent them the contract on the 19th. So title was ran on the 19th.
Yeah.
So I have a paper trail of title being ran on the 19th. So I have proof. So that's how I got Donald Duck. So what I did was I looked up Donald Duck. I looked at the deeds. He was using Quack Title in West Palm Beach or something, right? So I call Quack Title. I say, hey, Quack Title, this property's under dispute.
Yeah.
And then I put an affidavit on. And guess what? Quack Title's like, hey,
not-
I got a
we're
call
not
here.
touching it,
This is
yeah.
unethical. I can't do it. So now Donald Duck's mad at me because I ruined the title company thinks he's shady now.
And we told him you can move forward. If you do, I promise you, this will be the most expensive lesson of your career. And he finally.
This is
backed
a guy
down.
that is a millionaire wholesaling for 40 plus years, thinking he can get over a 19-year-old kid. He's forgetting he's dealing with again.
So, Rich, if you're dealing like with this problem, one of the easy, you have to listen. If you did everything in the right and you were ethical and there's no fraud involved and you just got snaked, work with the seller first. Let the seller know, when a seller enters into 2 contracts, it falls under the fraud threshold,
Yeah.
which is a whole different story because they won't be nearly as protected. And number 2, try to find who that wholesaler uses for their title company. We all have preferred title companies. Call that title company and tell them, we have a title issue on this property. The minute you call a title company and declare an issue, call them and send them an email. They don't want any part of it because they don't want to get sued. They don't want to get in trouble. And it's the easiest way to stop a contract. Only do it if you know all your numbers add up and you are in the right. Don't just go around recklessly calling. In a perfect world, you sit down with the seller and the other wholesaler, but I'm telling you, I've never seen that happen in 20 years.
So,
it never happens.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, Donald Duck was freaked out because he knew he could have lost everything, crying to us over
Oh,
the
he was
phone.
crying because I
He's-
told him I'm just going to sue you. It'd be easier.
Oh, he was going to lose a lot of hundreds of thousands. So at the end of the day, he says, "Release, don't mess with me." And at the end of the day, you know what the seller says? Oh yeah, Donald Duck says that he's going to go with you, and she just pretends like nothing's the problem.
But so we didn't, even though the seller was in the wrong for entering into agreement, guys, you're going to have this eventually. Sometimes seller will call you, go, "Hey Rick, just let you know I'm canceling that contract." I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that seller acted like nothing was the problem. And you know what? We could have gotten the anger out. We just closed on the deal and made our $70K.
We want to close. I don't want to go and start suing people, but I will show someone. If you want to keep pushing on this is going to be a very, very expensive mistake. So it happens.
I'm telling you. So that's just one story of someone trying to screw us very recently.
I could do an entire show.
But I'm telling you right now, I am very, this is a mess. But I'll tell you right now, this will happen to you. This happened to me. When I learned this, I had to go meditate in like a corner for like an hour straight.
You're a little.
I would have gone crazy.
I'm just kind of used to it.
Everyone knows I'm pretty chill. That's when I blew my gasket, and I had to calm down and meditate in a corner. But
that's why you guys make sure you have a signed contract and some sort of legitimate deposit, because that's when it's so easy for the guy or girl to come behind you and offer more money, right? And sellers, like, they're in distress. They're like, well, why wouldn't I take it? That's not fair.
I know. So just understand, this is why we say it so many times. Get a paper trail. Even if you don't have EMD, send an email to the title company that contract, because that was the only thing that really saved me on that deal. I'm telling you, just guys, do it. I beg you. I don't care if I'm losing subscribers saying this too many times, but if you have a contract, email it that day to the title company.
Yeah.
I promise you, one time you're going to be so thankful you did that. And that one time I did it instantly. I was tired. I didn't want to deal with it. I was working 14-hour days. I did it. Worth the $70K, right? So
if a lawyer ever gets to the point where you gotta get a lawyer involved, the first thing they're gonna ask is, give me an escrow letter and show me the date where the money was sent.
Yep.
And lawyers, that's their biggest thing right off the bat. And just to let you guys know, I've been doing this 20 years. I have a balance sheet with deposits spread so far from $10 to $20,000 on deals still waiting to to clear up title issues. When you put that money in there, it has to sit there until you release your claim on the property.
Yeah.
Especially if you record any type of document in the clerk of courts, you have to keep that title the escrow on deposit.
Okay, perfect. And
okay.
Next here we got Daniel.
Hey,
what's up, Daniel?
what's going on, you guys? I honestly thought I was gonna be the first one on. When I seen that guy jump on, I was like, "What?" Because I couldn't get in. Usually, you guys have the StreamYard link on there, but I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then you're like, "Dude, it's simple. Go to Facebook." So that's exactly what I did to jump on.
All right,
Perfect,
see?
man.
Now everybody's
worth
it.
Yeah.
So, man, O-Town.
Dude, O-Town's good, man. It's crazy. Downtown's insane.
Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you know O-Town's Orlando?
I don't know what O-Town is.
I didn't know that either, but I know exactly what he's talking about.
O-Town. What's that,
Yeah.
Ohio? I didn't know.
You don't deal with people my age. All right.
I don't. I deal with you.
I got all my UCF people. All right. So what's up, man? What's up? How can I help you out?
So basically, I had a couple questions lined up right here. I guess I could just start off with the first one, right? So
All right.
my first question is, should I create a company account like a regular checking and just use my remaining profits after expenses, and I should put it all into that fund just to use for marketing? So basically just stay broke, and whatever I get left after expenses, use that for the business.
Yeah. So you can write it off. Yeah.
So have you set up a entity yet?
Oh no. It's just like, for
Okay.
example, like I have expenses like water, food, freaking bills, rent, and stuff like that. And I'm saying like all the money that I'm producing when I go out there and I go money get, like instead of blowing the extra 200 that I might have there on stupid shit, should I just reinvest that back and like create a little checking just for the business and use that on like skip tracing, lead generation, and shit? Mojo Dollar.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, once you start getting up, you can just start writing off your expenses, but
Yeah.
not when you're starting out your business. Like
Okay.
if you're renting, you can write the whole thing off. Like if you do
Gotcha.
it, you gotta do it the right way. Obviously, get a
Yeah.
tax professional. But how many deals have you done?
Dude, 0.
0. So I want to get an LLC right now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to
No.
focus
Yeah,
on that.
you can easily assign it.
I have a 2-deal
rule right
now.
Easy.
Two deal rule, $150 for an LLC for sunbiz.org.
Okay.
You're good for Florida.
Okay,
Yeah.
so later, that's for later. Okay, that's good to know. I also wanted to introduce the deal that I want to introduce the idea of me bringing you guys deals. You know,
How did the Apicoa deal go?
dude, that did not like it didn't like I kept calling the seller. I guess it ended up being top dollar. I'm not gonna lie, I used my personal investor to comp that property. Like I just used him to comp it, and he told me he's like, yeah, no, it's like worth 75. This guy
Yeah.
wants top dollar, blah
That's
blah
what I
blah.
told
So,
you.
Yeah.
It's a mobile home in Apicoa.
yeah. So I didn't. Yeah,
Apicoa.
I kept it pushing. I was gonna do what you told me though, like go lock it up, but I just didn't because he didn't even answer my phone calls after that. So,
fine.
yeah. So I wanted to bring up that idea. You know, I'm trying to like honestly, I'm from the ground up, bro. I'm like pond scum right now. Okay, I haven't closed the fucking deal. I'm all over the fucking place. So if I got to be a little altruistic with like you and people that I'm coming across, and I wonder like I don't give up mining, giving up half of my fucking profits, literally just to learn. Like, I really don't mind, dude. I'm so grateful I was homeless a year ago, so I'll do whatever it takes, you know?
Yeah. Hey, if you need help, my Dispo team will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're too busy to go like talk to you 10 hours a week for cash
Yeah,
buyers.
I know.
But my Dispo team, they don't care. They want money.
They do it.
So,
And they talk to us every day. So what we
Okay.
try to do is find the ones that want to do a deal. Like there's meat on the bone, and those are the ones we're going to spend the energy on. The stuff. If you send something and it doesn't work,
Yeah.
look at it. You like save yourself a hassle. Like if
Yeah.
Rick and Zach don't think it's worth looking at, we'll look at it. But like,
Okay.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
the reality is if I get 10 deals, 6 or 7 don't even pass the mustard because.
Okay.
And then you save time not chasing someone down 4 or 5
but
hours.
just remember,
Yeah.
what do we do on this live? We just showed you how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So if you see the whole live and we show you how to do it, but you want extra help, we'll do it. But yeah.
No,
So,
yeah, I'm not
we'll
trying
help
to-
you out.
but I'm not trying to make you guys like do a whole bunch of legwork, like comp my property like you did for me last time, Zach. You know, it's just too much work. I'd rather just maybe figure out
I did want you to do
a
it,
way
though.
to do it and then bring you some hot deals, you know, whenever
Yeah,
I
you
do
got the
figure it.
link, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
You got the link, right?
The link for? Yeah, dude, I have that
Yeah,
link.
you're good to go, man.
Okay, I had
So-
another question. I'm like, do I have to be biased towards the data when organizing onto my Excel before getting it skip traced?
What do you mean biased?
For example, townhouses, LLC, corporate owners, manufactured homes that don't look distressed. Like, should I even bother when I'm on the like property appraiser? Should I even, if I see
What
that it's an
kind?
LLC?
What kind of list are you pulling? It depends.
Yeah, code violations.
Code violations, I would skip. Make sure it's single family or
Okay.
a multifamily, because
For
so many code violations are for like a mechanic shop,
for sure.
and just because they have like a lien on it,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
something stupid for like a commercial. So get rid of commercial for code violations.
Okay.
That's a
Those
waste
are
of
never
time.
good. They're
Okay.
waste of times.
Okay.
So residential, I my favorite is tall grass because you're in Florida, and
Yeah,
then structural damage or like
yeah.
human hazard. Like like,
Yeah.
I don't. Everyone's different,
Yeah,
but
you're not going to get many condos and townhomes on those.
Yeah, but
lists.
I'm talking about like individual owners, not LLC corporate owners, right?
yeah, if so, structural damage would just be like, hey, there's a broken window, and it's vacant for like 30 years. Tall grass, those are my favorite. Honestly, if tall grass and structural issues for code violations, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, like listen, the code violation list, they're not that huge.
They're not.
So
Orlando's kind of big.
I know, but it's hard to like pick. You got to just get the list, and then you kind of
Yeah.
make the decision what to call on. Don't spend too much energy trying to like parse it and pivot tables, and so many people teach like this high end like list stacking. And
Get
stuff
the
like,
address,
dude,
property address, skip trace it, call.
Yeah, but
and
you know exactly. Like, I mean, like I understand the type of property, the distressed property, but we're talking about when we go into the property appraiser and you're looking at the name on the deed. Like, if you see something like LLX, like LLC, corporate owner, like maybe don't waste your time on. Because I just talked to a guy right now. He said, "Yeah, dude, you shouldn't mess with those LLC owners or corporate owners."
No,
He's very
I don't
successful,
think so.
and he basically said because it's gonna be like me chasing around 5 lesbians and I'm never gonna get laid. So.
I mean, okay.
No, okay.
I'm not gonna get into that, but
Yeah.
okay.
You get
So-
I like how Rick's laughing though.
Listen, you got to look at how many people are on the list. With today's technology, though, a lot of LLCs, if they let a property go to crap and they don't want to
Yeah.
fix it, a lot of times you can Google search it or just go through like Sunbiz and like find the registered agent or the owner or the officer
Uh-huh.
and get to it. Now, if the grass is up a little bit high on an LLC, I'm probably not going to spend any energy on it.
I see what you're saying.
But
Yeah,
if the property's abandoned and gone, like I've had complicated trusts I've chased down for 6 months. Trusts are some
Yeah.
of the most complicated ones to chase down, but you got to prioritize on the list. So I'm going to look
Okay.
for the stuff that's going to have the most meat on the bones, and then
which would
when I
be
got a little
which-
extra time, if I've got 80 people that are corporate owned, maybe I get it down to like 10 that are worth.
Oh,
even, like,
okay. Thank
chasing.
you, Rick. You guys are
And just
fucking amazing.
prioritize it. But like you got to
Yeah.
understand, corporations, even hedge funds let grass grow too high sometimes, or the
Yeah, yeah.
tenant is taking care of it and they don't even know about it.
Got you.
And I've been it, but every now and then, if I drive by and I see a property's in major distress, it's owned by an LLC, I'm going to town and finding someone I can talk to. There's
Yeah,
something
gotcha.
going on. And
Gotcha.
by the way, a lot of times you look up these LLCs, especially for Florida, you see them, they're inactive. That
Yeah.
means an investor's probably failed.
Yeah, I would.
Oh,
Oh, dude, the amount of
Most
inactive.
statistically, though, like for the LLCs, I would say only 10% of them are actually gonna be. If we're doing like high volume, I would probably cut LLCs out of it. I'm just
would.
got you.
I like trust though. I like trust a lot.
trust
For sure.
we like because you're in Florida, so
Trust they don't pay attention.
that'd
to
be
the
my
property.
answer to that.
Okay, thank you guys. Hey, that was a perfect fucking elaboration. You guys literally helped. And I'm talking to this guy
Bro, we
named
got
John
10-year-olds
Wright.
watching, man. Watch out.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
I'm 10.
Yeah.
I've been screaming at everyone. Have your 3-year-old watch the show. Just have it in their head. Some kids
Yeah.
watch.
Except when Daniel's on.
Yeah, except
I'm
for
sorry.
Nick.
I'm sorry.
Chill out, man.
I'm sorry.
I don't personally care, but I know some people do, and I know a lot of young kids are actually watching this.
Yeah.
So I'll keep it chilled out. But
Okay.
you're good, man. What are the questions you got?
So yeah. So I got this guy named John Wright. I'm talking to. I just went cash buyers near me on Google. You know, and he's all like, hey, look, dude, his name is John Wright. He's all like, look, dude, I'm gonna teach you how to use Comp Controller. I'm gonna teach you how to use the Property Appraiser, and I'm also gonna teach you how to do the My Orange Court, and I'm gonna teach you how to basically look if these guys have mortgages or blah blah blah. I'm gonna help you do that research. If you have to do 30 properties until you're good at the research, then that's exactly what I'll do. But he's super motivated. He wants to make money, so we might like partner up and shit.
Bro,
But
I'm telling
yeah.
you right now, it's like someone teaching you. I'm just telling you that's stupid. Like how
Yeah.
to learn. You're young, man.
Yeah.
This isn't like your first rodeo. How to use the internet. To learn how to use the clerk of the court, the property appraiser, it's pretty easy, man.
It's a
yeah, but I
wouldn't
need
It's not worth
I understand.
equity.
I understand what you're saying, but I personally need a accountability partner because I learn faster like that. So
Okay,
I need
whatever you
yeah.
want.
So where'd you find
Okay.
this person from?
I'm sorry.
Look them up online. Come on.
Okay.
In downtown Orlando, like a corporate office, I just call these guys up and I offer them business. So
Okay.
That's how you think it's gonna help you out. Then do it.
yeah. And then also, after a deal is acquired, do I have to package it in a sexy way to sell it, like with details, basically like a design, like ARV
No.
with potential profits, kind of like a flyer template type thing? Because I seen my investor
No.
do that. He got it sold pretty quickly doing that.
Well, so I'm old school. I think if you have a good deal and you actually have control of the property,
Got you.
you can package it however you want. You can do expensive software and all that other stuff. At the end of the day, I never rely on the comps a wholesaler gives me because I know
No.
they're wrong.
If you go to a cash buyer and say, "Hey, this is the address. I'm selling it for this," let them look it up. If you think it's
Got
worth
you.
140, they might think it's worth 170.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
you potentially could be wrong on how much the thing's worth, and that could kill the deal. Just give them the address and a price. At the end of the day, we're selling contracts. You're not here to package it up. You don't go to the grocery store
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
you say, "Oh, pub sub $7 right now," but it technically is worth $9. No one
dude,
cares. Just sell
I
it.
used to do all that.
I got
fancy
you.
Stuff.
Okay.
At the
Okay.
end of the day, if you're wholesaling,
Yes,
you don't
sir.
need that. The fancier you get, the more you have to push it, and you wind up in this realtor world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you start going the ARV. The only one they ever look at, in my opinion, is the Zestimate, and so it
Okay.
either works for you or against you. And just say, understanding when you show them your contract the property,
Yeah.
they're going to already look it up. So that's the only one like I put a little bit of weight on because I just try to get in my buyer's mindset. And he's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
wait a minute, you're selling it for 150. It says it's worth 180. They
Yeah.
feel like they got to move. So if you use a third party authoritarian, it works better.
Yeah.
The minute somebody gives me 3 comps,
Yeah, just
I know it's-
just get an address
you're a realtor then.
and sell it to them. You should be cold calling these buyers when you have a deal. So simple
Okay.
as that. Email them. The only thing you need to provide is probably pictures. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, just make sure
Where's-
you vet it. You're
okay.
not blasting
I
it
have
on the internet.
where's a good place to store my cash buyers list? Like maybe an Excel.
You could use Excel. I like Google Sheets just because
Okay.
I don't have to store it on my phone or in my
Gotcha.
computer. Let's say my computer just decides not to work. And the cool part is like I'm just getting personally, I'll tell you a personal thing that most people can't relate to this, but like I have a studio, I have a personal house, I have a laptop. Sometimes I'm going ever. I got my phone. That
Yeah.
same list is on all those computers because it's synced
Yeah,
up in
yeah.
the cloud.
Yeah, we
So-
don't live together, so it's
I
like
see
we
what you're
have
saying. Yeah.
to constantly commute. But
I used
You-
to.
I know
Can you guys
that.
can you guys
I know
elaborate?
that. I know
Can you
that.
guys
I didn't have a
elaborate?
choice in that.
Can you guys elaborate blasting out to your cash buyers list? What does that look like? Are you just code calling that fucking list or
So the way that we do that is we sometimes will email it. We don't like doing that anymore.
You got to be careful, man,
we
because
cold
you're
call-
selling a contract, and if you
I see what
start
you're saying.
blasting
Our
out
Dispo
addresses-
team has a relationship with the cash buyers. We'll call the top cash buyers on the deal, and then we'll go from there. I'm not a big
Okay.
blasting of cash buyers. Blasting cash buyers is like, hey, this is 2010. I have to bring this to 1,000 buyers before I have someone who will bite on it. That's old school. You have to be kind of closer to it, and it makes the
Okay.
cash buyer seem like this is exclusive.
If you have good vetted cash buyers,
yeah?
usually by the 3rd, the 5th one, it's like a done
Yeah.
deal. So
Ha-
most cash buyers are only good for 60 or 90 days because
Yeah.
they wind up buying something else.
Yeah, yeah. How long can leads, for example, code violations, water shutoffs, and others, stay on the shelf after
2 months.
organized and not called?
2 months.
2 months?
2 months.
2 months. Okay, so after 2 months, like the list is like.
If
doomed.
it's been a code violation for 2 months in Orange County, it's almost a dead deal. I'm
2
just
months.
it's a saturated market. Speed.
speed,
You
speed.
should be doing the newer ones.
Okay, so if I was creating a list for 300 and it's been probably like a month or two already, I should just get on to the next
2
month,
months,
right?
you're good. You're
Okay.
good. If it's like
Okay.
3, 4, 5 months now.
Got you.
That's where you,
Okay.
you can put them in
Yeah.
like an
Pull
SMS
Seminole County.
blast or something like that at the end.
Yeah,
Just
Sem-
trying to.
Yeah, just pull the counties around Orlando. You're good.
Okay. I okay, for sure. So yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I think me and this guy John Wright, he told me, he's all like, hey, on trash day, you're gonna go out to the zip code and you're gonna walk up to the street, and basically the houses that are vacant and have no trash cans there, we're basically gonna do 5 of those properties, and he's gonna teach me how to use the comp controller, property appraiser, just because I need accountability. I need somebody to kind of like tell me what to do, and that's how I learn quicker. So
Whatever you want, man.
all right,
Each their own.
well,
Just
Thank
just
you,
make
guys.
Sure you have like, if you're gonna partner up with them, just make sure you get something in writing. Says,
yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
you know,
How would that
you
work?
could be friends with them, but you got to keep it official because, like, once you have a deal, then you're not in. Once you guys are working on it, which I assume he would probably contract,
Yeah.
you have to trust him to pay you,
I see
him or
what you're
her,
saying,
whoever
yeah.
it is. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just telling you, this is where most new wholesalers go down a road. Now, if the guy has ethics or anything like that, you're good. But if
Rick,
they have
Rick,
no
I just want to say
intention-
one thing. Honestly, man, I'm tired of all this shiesty business going around. Like, honestly, I don't care, man. If I partner up with someone, I'm going to go all in. If I get screwed over, that's a learning lesson for me. And eventually, I swear to
Okay.
God, I will find somebody who's well-rounded and who's ethical.
Well, you know
All
where
right,
we're
man.
at, so find us
All right.
find us a good deal. I'll walk you through it head to toe.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
help you out. But
Thank you, guys.
good, man.
Okay, thank you, guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna.
I think we lost him there.
I think I got muted. You hear us?
You there?
All right.
Okay.
Have a good one, Daniel.
See you, Daniel.
All right.
That was a lot to wrap up.
I was about to wrap up. So I'll say this off the bat. Love you, Daniel. He's coming with great heart. I will say off the bat, we don't condone some of those analogies.
No, it's okay. It's like we do this live.
Yeah, guys,
The risk. I don't want to sit there and filter
Guys,
anyone. Just kind of keep
this
it
isn't
clean.
this isn't an edited video. Like, this is a live
Yeah,
video.
it's live.
So just understand this is a live video.
Daniel will work on it next time. He's been on before.
We'll
He
work
knows.
on it.
He knows.
But when you talk to sellers, you can't be saying this. No, I sometimes okay. So of course there's a fine line between keeping it professional because we're real estate investors. Are you wearing a collared shirt and a suit? I'm not. Like, hey, right? I don't ever curse on the lives just because I don't think that's the best. I got kids watching this. I want 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds watching this show.
No.
That is what I want them to do because I want them to start cold calling.
Or
If
they're gonna hear it in the background.
Yeah, that's
Mom
my
and dad
rule.
are listening
It's my
to
rule.
it,
If they can
so-
speak, they can cold call. So
Okay.
I'll just give a quick example. Like, shout out to Corey. I'll give an apology to Corey. Corey says, I'm one of those people with the children watching. My kids call Rick and Zach my teachers and ask me where my next wholesale deal is at. Corey's got 2 deals going on now. Shout out to Corey, working a full-time job. Why doing
Don't
this?
make me get like a buzzer where I got to start beeping out
Yeah,
like words
so-
and phrases because that's too much work.
Yeah.
and we're gonna lose the authenticity of what we're doing.
So
here,
yeah, so I'm not the guy that cusses when I talk like behind the scenes either. If I was like Gary Vee and I curse, I'd do it. So I'm just telling you, sorry for that if that offends anyone, but yeah, we don't
And the
condone.
truth is, you don't want to be talking to sellers like 'cause
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
fastest.
please
way
don't
to
be
tick
using
them
those
off.
analogies to sellers because I'm not going to give my opinions or anything or what I think, but like you could make a joke about something and then like let's say that seller is
Yeah.
like that, they're going to get extremely offended and really mad. One example, we've had a deal before. I'll give you an example. I had a deal in 2016. I think 2017, right when I was like turning 18. They had a Hillary Clinton like flag or whatever
Yeah.
outside their house. Now, I know a lot of people love to make jokes about a presidential candidate. If you like, let's say you say, "Oh, I hate this candidate," and let's say that secretly that person loves that candidate. Every seller has a different political
You're
preference.
done.
You're
You're done.
You're
All
done.
that work on the motivated seller. This is where
yeah. If you have a sentence about, "Oh, I love Trump, I hate Trump," that's risky because there's almost a 50-50 shot you lose the deal. So I'm just telling you, like, be careful when you say that. But
And we just try to talk about wholesaling
Yeah.
on here. Like, do you really care what like my personal view is on everything? It's pointless, guys, because I'm only instructing you on what I'm
Yeah.
most skilled at. Everything
it's a
else
live show, guys.
is an
So
opinion.
it's a live show. Understand that. But all right, let's get it going. Let's talk to Bailey. Bailey, what is up?
Boy, that looks cold
Hi.
right there,
Oh
buddy.
my gosh.
Are you in Alaska?
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Oh,
she?
Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna say what her
I was
ri-
completely guessing.
She was the. I remember she was the
Yeah, I
one with.
remember.
She had the old YouTube account. I'm not gonna say it.
My
but-
God, that hat
that's
looks
funny.
warm.
I remember
man.
that.
That hat
Okay.
looks warm.
Woo!
Yeah,
I
this
know.
is a very warm hat.
Awesome. It got
How
down
are
in the
you?
30s this
I'm-
week.
I'm good. What was that?
It got down to 30s in the Florida,
I know,
man.
I know.
Well, I thought I was going to die.
We're -6 right now. It
Oh.
was -30 earlier.
I love your state, though. I really, but it's a summertime state for me.
Yeah. so-
Yeah, yeah. Well, this
What's
is
up?
only
How are
our
you?
second summer. It's good, but so I'm just kind of getting started in wholesaling. I actually came from Colorado, where back in 2015, 2016, I worked as a realtor, and little did I know, back whenever I was young, I started at 18, and I was basically doing wholesaling without really knowing it. I was finding cash buyers and investors on Craigslist and Facebook. And then going and finding old listings on the MLS and then feeding them these cash deals with basically walking away with just a small commission instead of, a wholesale profit. And so whenever we got up here to Alaska here this last summer, I started to realize that there's a market coming here. And so I decided to get back into it. And being a realtor already, that's naturally the direction I started to go. And so I paid for the classes to take the practice test and stuff. And whenever I was taking my practice test, I got to the third question, and it just triggered something about legal title versus equitable title. And so I started digging into that. And then that's whenever I realized, hey, I was already wholesaling. Let's go back and let's look at the investing side of things. And so this is like 2 weeks ago that I started looking into this. And I've been watching your show for the last 2 weeks, probably just like hours on end, just really like absorbing all the knowledge I can.
Yeah.
That's, I would have never guessed this back when I started in 2002. Like you could do something like this. It's just amazing. I would love to buy something in Alaska, by the way.
Well,
I don't know how to deal with snow though.
Yeah. So what is it? Juneau, Fairbanks, where?
So we're up in Fairbanks. Yeah, we're like in the middle of the state. It's like the second largest city here. It's like 6 hours north of Anchorage.
And that's a market, like 31,000. Like we do deals, market 16,000.
Yep.
5,000. If there's a market, there's a way. So
I don't think. Do you have a lot of competition for like wholesaling in?
Not at all.
God.
No, I would actually probably be the first. Actually, I was told by one of the top real estate agent here in Alaska, because that's who I was going to get my license with. I was told by him that the deal that I commented on his post, 2 days ago, was that your video? I had a deal and I was going to wholesale it. And he told me that would have been the very first deal wholesaled in the last 2 years that he knows of.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're gonna be the first. I know people actually are wholesaling in Alaska, but virtually.
Yeah.
So you have an advantage of being in person.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would tell you is, I mean, it's pretty average. You got a very unsaturated market. So first thing you need to be doing is pulling the government lists and just going after it. You know, you don't really you have some fire damage properties, code violations, water shutoffs, probates are going to be huge. I think probates great, like Florida. So we do probates in Florida, and like the heirs live in like New York. They don't want to go all the way out to Florida to sell the deal. Same thing like that. Hey, maybe you got like grandpa lives in Alaska, a crazy guy, and we live in Colorado. I don't want to go on a flight there, you know?
Yeah.
Because if it's like $100,000 property, like it's not worth it. I think you can do really well there.
And working with realtors would be huge, because it's, you know, you have a much more like belly to belly interactions. Like from what I know in Alaska, I haven't been there a lot, but I assume that people like to do business with people they know and that are local. And the fact that you're there will give you a huge upper hand, because about
53
very few people doing virtual.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I've already, you know, I understand I've got a little bit of a gift connecting with people, and I've already started that, and I realized that like that's going to be a good advantage getting into this. One of my questions that I had for you, I've already found quite a few properties that I'm looking at calling the owners for, and we've got business cards and bandit signs and post-it notes, and we're posting them on doors and mailboxes and things like that. And so and this was just here the last 2 days that we started even like doing anything. And so I'm assuming that here pretty soon that I'll start getting some calls. But like I said, I've already networked, and I've got several different properties that I'm looking at, and I had a few questions. One of them, I actually have more cash buyers than just potential properties. And that's because that's what I was concerned about, not being able to have investors. And so I wanted to see if there was even a market. And so I've actually got a list of about 20 cash buyers, mostly south of me, but I do have some here in Fairbanks. But I kind of have this like idea in my mind, this mantra: once I find them, they will come. And so and there's properties here. There's really good like distressed properties, and like you said, there's a bunch of probate properties up here too. One of my questions, I've got a guy who, there's also a lot of military people or ex-military, and they have VA loans. And one of them told me that if I were to get a contract and assign it over to him, that would just be included in the closing costs. Is that accurate?
Okay, so let me. This is my answer.
By
the way, on the mainland here, I've sold properties for VA funding. There's no seasoning requirement. but you do have to go through the checklist of what a VA
Yeah.
loan requires. The
Right.
best way to get that data is from a mortgage broker, and it's a simple phone call. You don't have to visit anybody locally. The problem you're going to have is back in the day when I used to do these, we used to get assignments on conventional financing. I'm going to tell you 98% of banks won't do that anymore. They have a policy. We don't pay assignment fees. It's a ridiculous policy. It's stupid, but that's the catch-22 on it. I like VA loans because FHA loans require a 91-day seasoning, which takes all investors out.
Okay.
So what you can potentially, there's a lot of tactics that you can use here. What I would do is find out everything a VA loan, what you can and cannot do, and get the facts. Because I haven't done it in a while. So I don't want to give you bad information. I don't think they're going to let you collect an assignment fee on the HUD.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, if you have a rock solid buyer that is 100% all in and they're qualified to VA loan, and you have a property that will qualify for VA, like here in Florida, you have to have central AC, all the windows have to be operational. It can't be really beat up or it'll never pass the inspection. And it's got to be a modern electrical panel. It can't be the old fuses.
Yeah.
So find out what the requirements for in Alaska. But that's the perfect type of an agreement. I'm not even going to use the word because I hate using it, but you can substitute your contract for his and come up with a private agreement for him because they're not going to let you in between. I'm just going to tell you up front. But if you know exactly what he can do and you have the right property, then you can set that deal up. If you have any questions, reach out to us. There's a technical term for it. I'm not going to use it on here because it's being abused in the wholesaling industry right now. But some of my biggest deals have been that way. Some have been through friends and family. I'm like, listen, I got this property. I don't really want to, if we just got to figure out how I'm going to get paid on the deal. And then you can come up with an agreement. I've had them just pay me. They're like, okay, well, we'll just give you a check for, $10,000 or whatever. It can't be on the HUD. I'm almost guaranteed on that.
Yeah.
So other than that, if you had to close on the deal, you could use some sort of hard money or transactional funding. I would just make sure you had your buyer completely 100% set up, and there's a lot of money on the line. You can't do small margins putting your butt at risk for that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So find out what the facts are, VA, because they're constantly changing. But I love VA loans, but you got to have solid houses because if it doesn't pass inspection, also VAs always require, if the property's flipped, their only condition is they get 2 appraisals. And here's the key. They tell the investor you have to pay for one, but you don't have to pay for it till they actually fund the closing. And it's $600. It's obscene. But yeah, you got it. You just got to make sure you got a really, really solid buyer in a solid house and get the rules for a VA loan.
Okay. So my other question was, I found a property, and this is the one that I had mentioned that I thought that he was going to let me wholesale. It's actually my landlord, and he wants to slowly be bought out. And so we told him that we were going to buy this property from him, but he only wants to do owner financing because he wants to make sure that he's got payments for the next 10, 12 years. And so whenever I heard that, it kind of I'm assuming that's what would be considered creative financing.
Okay.
But so what I thought about that, and I thought about wholesaling it, but we originally were going to purchase it ourselves and turn it into an Airbnb. It's in a really great location for a property like that. They've been using it as a rental, and it's been rented out the entire time that they've owned it. And so I know that there's cash flow there, and we really want to purchase it. So we talked to an investor who said that, and I just get a little bit concerned about finding people who say that they're going to give you money online. And so I wanted to approach you guys and see if maybe you had knowledge in this area. The guy said that he would fund us, and it would be, a processing fee and all that kind of stuff. Now, what would be your best advice about going and finding a personal or private investor?
So let me simplify this for you. There's 2 types of ways to raise money. It's private money, and then there's what I kind of call institutional money. Private money are friends, family, people period. You got to have an established relationship. If you don't have an established relationship, anybody off the internet and stuff, they have guidelines they have to follow, or they're in big trouble. Like,
Okay.
so, listen, there's soft and hard money, and they're labeled correctly for a reason. Hard money, it's hard. Like they wind up being your
Not
business
fun.
partner when it's said and done. Most people try to concentrate on the interest rate. The real pain in hard money is the points you pay at closing, which are usually high. So usually they'll charge like 3 or 4. I've seen as many as 6 points lately. So if the deal was $100,000, you'd have to pay a $6,000 fee. And the other one is the ease of like getting through the loan process. If you wind up doing huge amounts of things of paperwork and they take forever, it's painful and they'll screw your deal up. If the guy's already offering you some sort of creative financing, that's really financing that's already built into it.
Yeah.
I get it. He wants cash flow for X amount of years, but once he signs an agreement, if you decide to cash him out, sell it, or do anything else, he doesn't have that option anymore. So understanding, I get that's your wish, but once you sign a contract, so you could option the property, you could do like owner financing type of deal. If you could do a deal with him, I would do it, because I promise you, I don't know him, but if you go and get private money from somebody on the internet that you don't have a relationship, it's like dating somebody on the internet. You get that beautiful profile, they seem wonderful, and then you get down to them, it's like, man, you're a nightmare. And I'm just telling you, they're out there a million times. And guys, if you ever use any type of private funding, if someone charges you a fee to do an application, run to the hills.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's borderline
Like
illegal. And usually they're going to take the money and they're not going to fund you.
money needs a bunch of trust. And
Okay.
it's hard to do that over the internet.
So you want to establish I would try to like the creative financing route. Once you get an agreement, if you decide to sell it or do something else, if you cash them out, it's not your problem. Or you can sell that financing in place. He still gets his monthly payment. The new buyer gets a good deal, and then you can take your profit out of the middle of it. So I'm extremely wary of anybody over the internet with private money. From the old schools, I used to go to like a RIA group. I would meet the person, meet him 3 or 4 times. I would get credit references and stuff like that. Don't dive in too quickly, because it could be dangerous.
Okay. Now, what about working with a partner to purchase the property? I don't have the money to invest into it myself yet. That's kind of why I want to do some deals before I put any money down. So do you have any or should I just go ahead and do it? Should I just wholesale some deals and then have the money myself?
I would wholesale, and
start wholesaling,
because you sound like you're good at talking to people, and the more deals you do, the more confident you're going to become. And then as you get money, you'll have options, and you'll find what I call qualified partners. Partners are tough. They're brutal. I've been through a ton. He's even tough sometimes on me, but I'm just telling you, partners are a challenge unless you have even family members are tough. Like, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
So you want to find partners organically and naturally. Like, the time comes up, you might meet someone in 6 months, like, oh man, if the property ever comes up, I would love to bring you in and kind of work together. And make sure you understand what you're getting into. Like, if you want a silent partner, you better make sure they're silent.
Okay.
I used to always ask for a silent, passive partner, and then they were always in my grill, what are we doing? What are we doing this? I'm just forget it. So listen, you like talking to people, you're comfortable. I think you're in a captive market. You're way ahead of the curve. I would run with this and let everybody know what you do in town, and then just use your brain. Everything's a math problem in this. It's pretty straightforward, and you have the ability to connect with people. So I think you're on the right track. I would try to wholesale as much as you can, get an understanding, build up some reserves, because you'll be blown away. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah. So I didn't even start this game until I was 33. So you're way ahead of the curve.
Just go out there, start marketing, and there's plenty of deals. You just got to go out there and find them.
I think you'll do fine. So find the best way to connect to people in your town, whatever it is. If it's the bar scene, the internet, whatever it is. And stay in contact. I love talking to people in Alaska, man. It's crazy. I love that state.
It's pretty fun.
The last good state left.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Good luck with everything.
Keep marketing.
Thank you.
Thanks. Awesome. And then we got how do I say your name?
It's Jiraiya.
Jiraiya. I was going to say that.
I was going to say Jiraiya.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I said it right. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm just tuning in today. I'm calling in from Sacramento, California. So
Ooh, there you go.
pretty new to wholesaling. I recently started diving into the research like really hard, probably about the past month and a half, and a lot of the knowledge I learned is from your guys' content. And I just want to say thank you guys for putting it out for free. You guys are, it's amazing what you guys do, man. So really appreciated. I got some quick questions. I mean, I think they're quick. So like as a beginner, I think I got a pretty good concept of how this works. Just my main concern is like kind of the legal side of everything, contracts. I guess my first question is, so I downloaded your guys' contract you provide on flipwithrick.com, but let's say like, have title companies ever sent your contract back to you saying like it needs to have this or it's missing something? Because I know you guys wholesale in multiple states.
So yes and no at the same time. I've never gotten a deal destroyed. Like I've never had a deal not go through because the title company said no, because I think you've been through free wholesaling. You understand this. I go to the title company in a new state and say, hey, does this contract work if I go try to wholesale? They'll either say yes or no, and they'll say what's missing, and you add that in.
Yeah, some mostly it's like disclosures.
It's not even the state, man. It's how the title company likes it.
But a lot of times I tell people, get the contract and then take it to them. And then if you got to make adjustments to it, it's like really
they have
minor
lawyers
stuff.
there. They'll look it over. You don't have to pay for it. It's great.
Contracts only require, I believe, 7 legal elements to be a legal contract.
Yeah.
So as complicated as they make it, we always have to adapt like different markets and state. I just do it to get the deal done. It doesn't mean like I've had people be completely wrong. I've been challenged in court on contracts I was told they're wrong and I won. So I know what the facts are. But the reality is you don't want to fight with everyone. And you go, okay, well, just tell me what you want to add to make you comfortable. And so sometimes it's typically the title company is the only one I'm trying to make happy. Sometimes the homeowner, and then occasionally if you have a state where you got to deal with a lawyer, then sometimes you got to appease them.
Awesome. Yeah, that really helps a lot. I mean, I'd heard something before about like the elements that's required in contracts. I don't know what those are, but yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
It's really straightforward. It's actually very simple. You could do it on a cocktail napkin legally, as long as you have 2 willing parties. So it's
okay. Awesome.
The template's always up for debate.
And then like what you said, you mentioned like they'll have like lawyers or attorneys there to like look over it. So from the example you guys said earlier, like somebody tried to take you to court, try to sue you. Do you guys like have lawyers or attorneys on standby to kind of be in your corner? Or do you, when that situation arises, do you guys call people and find out who can help you?
So just to let you know, in that much, we actually had to threaten to sue somebody because it was a mischievous wholesaler that, well, I'm not going to get into the details on it. Like I've been around long enough. Like if you really want to try to take advantage of me, like I know the system good enough. In the beginning, don't spend your energy on it, because I get people all the time to start out. They go, hey, Rick, we have a house and there's 2 contracts on it, just like we showed earlier. Honestly, if you can't work with the seller, just move on, because people don't understand. Lawyers are very expensive. They're up to $600 an hour now. I guess the things hit them too. Supply chains hit the lawyers. And then most people understand a typical lawsuit takes 2 to 3 years to wash through. Do you know how expensive it is? The average lawsuit is between 30 and 50 grand, just what you pay your lawyer. So it's like, I don't want to. So if you have like a $10,000 or $15,000 assignment fee, it is not worth the legal hassle. It's cheaper just to walk away. If you have something with a huge profit and it is gross negligence fraud, that's when you just reach out to a lawyer and go, listen, what would you do in this opinion? And then usually I'm going to start with the title company. So most of your issues, Jariah, would start, I'd say, with the title company. I go, listen, I got this potential issue. This guy's saying he had it under contract after me. Like, what should I do? And then I always try to work with the seller, because they're the key person that's either going to clear you or nail you in court. Past that, having one on retainer, you get a first couple hundred deals on it and then worry about it. Like, it's just not worth it.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, that was kind of just like what I had in my mind in terms of like to start and like maybe possible troubles that could arise. But all right, sounds good. That's all I got today. But hey, thank you guys for bringing me on.
Yeah,
Perfect, man.
and as you go through it, you'll find out all the lawyers and the title companies, and you'll connect with one naturally, and that's who you'll organically find if you ever have an issue.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Okay, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, last one real quick. Aiden, what's up?
Oh, how are you guys? That's crazy.
Hey,
What's
what's
up,
up,
man?
man?
What's
I
up?
just figured this out, so I had to go to StreamYard. All right, I have a
Okay.
quick question for you guys. So I'm a college baseball player. I've been watching your videos. I started with Hamza Ibrahim, and I don't want to get into that. Whatever. I found you guys, and
I have no opinion. I don't want to. We're not going to say anything.
No, we try to keep everything neutral, but
yeah,
uh,
100%.
You're neutral.
Yeah. So this right here actually is a code violation list.
Okay.
So I'm in Washington, and I just had a quick question for you guys. I've been working on my contracts. I got your guys' contracts dialed up. I sent it to my buddy on DocuSigns, made sure all that's working. I just had a quick question for you guys about batch leads and prop stream. I know you guys have a video of it up right now. I'm in the middle of watching it, but I saw you guys were live.
okay.
What is your guys' go-to list? Like if you guys were gonna pull a list.
What's your budget?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm a college kid. I don't got much.
Where are you at?
Washington State. I'm in Aberdeen, so that's it's like basically straight west from Seattle.
What's the average home price there?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Not very high. So to put this in perspective, we have a 2,100 square foot house, 4 bed, 2 bath. It went for $290.
Not
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Aberdeen.
The average MLS time, listing time here in Aberdeen is 64 days. So that's not great. But the
I'm popping
distressed
some
property
stuff up.
amount here is huge.
Let's see. The county is Gray Harbors County.
Grays Harbor County. Yep.
Okay, let's do the median price.
I could have done that.
And do you know the population of the county? So 330,
I'll look it up right now. Give me one sec.
75K. Got it. Okay. Bro, that's awesome. I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. You have prop stream. Great. I think as a college kid, I don't think you need it. If you
Okay.
have it paid for the month, you're good. I would use the Drawing for Dollars app. I'm telling you right now, Drive for Dollars. Like that's where I'd say is the best right now.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
made
just-
reference that you said it's perfect for distressed properties. Why'd you say that?
So actually, it rains a lot here. There's a house
Okay.
that just got tore down a block from my house. There's a huge homeless issue here, and a lot of these houses are not really getting taken care of. There's a lot of older people here. So I think everything that I've watched from you guys, it makes sense. Like this place makes sense to me, and I'm here. I might as well. I'm
Okay.
gonna be here for another
Prove
year.
it.
100%.
Prove it. Code violations, probates, old people, probates, code violations. Probably not shutting off water there, but I would probably stick to those two: Drive for Dollars and pre-foreclosures. All stuff you can look up online. You got a code violation list. You're good to go, man. Start calling, dude. Tony, did I have my dorm room?
You got
Yeah,
yeah.
the same exact.
You
thing,
got
man.
transportation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Drive for dollars.
driving for dollars is if what you're telling me that would be. I would just make a commitment to it and put it in your rotation. Like, okay, Thursday after practice, I'm doing like driving for dollars.
getting these
make it
comments,
50
let-
addresses.
We
I'm
have a
seeing
YouTube
too.
comment that says Washington State, it's illegal to wholesale. That is a lie.
See, that's the problem.
See,
is
that's the
people don't
problem.
Understand?
It is you can assign contracts in Washington. I'm just telling you, just be careful when you see something on. Just be careful because like you get, and then you got Barbara who's out of Seattle. She was born and raised in Washington. There's no ban in Washington State. Just to let you know, I see it and people are like, oh, Washington's illegal wholesale. Just be careful. You're good to go, man. Don't
Okay.
let anyone give me a comment. If someone comments something's illegal, give me the SB number, the house number there of where it's illegal. But
So, are you from Washington or?
Yeah, so I was actually originally going to do this virtually in Tri-Cities. So my dad is a building inspector. He's built houses his whole life. So I pitched my dad and I said, hey, I want you to be my runner. Because if I could virtually wholesale with my dad running in Tri-Cities, it would make that part of the process. Because the ARVs and all that to me, like I have to study that, but to him, that's like, he could bang that out like that. So I was going to do that. But if I can start here and then work into bigger and broader areas, I would do that.
That's cool. What position you play?
I'm a third baseman. I actually kind of this year I'm gonna play left field as well.
Oh, cool. I was always terrible at baseball, dude. My brother was good.
Don't
at it,
even
but
mention that to me. So
takes a lot of coordination. It really does.
So yeah, what I tell you is Driving for Dollars. How far is Tri-Cities from you?
Right now, 5.5 hours.
Okay, so I mean you got a year left. So I would focus on doing what you have there. If you got to move back, that's not bad. I'm just looking up right now. That's not bad either, dude. I would start focusing on the one you're at locally right now. Get some money, man, and get it going, dude. I'm just saying. I think you Driving for Dollars, code violations, calling, you're doing the right thing, and just slowly get it going. I'm just make conversations. You're good to go.
Okay, I have one more. This one's quick, I promise. If I'm going around and I'm looking at these houses, like I think I heard you guys touch on this earlier in the stream. If I find like a house that I think I just I get a skip trace it, right? I don't even have to worry about anything to do with the property's value, the ARV, or anything like that. I need to find out if they're a motivated seller. Number one,
That's
right?
the most important part.
Everybody wastes their time doing all the other stuff. If they're not motivated, you'll waste hours.
You have a list of 10,000. 20 of them are going to want to sell the house. Why are you going to do what? 9,000 ARVs, right?
Yeah.
Guys, get it.
Simple.
You gotta locate the motivated seller, and then you can like do your homework on the numbers. And if you do it the other way around, people do it because they want to be comfortable because that's how we were taught in school, and it's not how it works. So like, I commend you for not waiting till you get out of college to figure out how finances and life works. I waited till I was 33, so you're way ahead of the curve. He started like 70. I kind of showed you, like I had him start in high school. I'm just like, why didn't somebody start
Get it going
this earlier?
I'm just saying, start marketing and get it going.
Yeah, and you got a good competitive
Perfect.
nature. So this is actually it's a great sport for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I know I could tell right away just from watching a few of your guys' videos. You guys are the real deal. Now we appreciate the free content. Seriously,
Yeah.
it's
Appreciate it, man.
I like that hat, man.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cool.
this is the salamanders. It's my
All right.
son made too.
Badass. That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool, man. I'm telling you, man. I never played baseball, but I mean, you treat it like baseball. I can use any sports analogy, but it's like, I don't know, learning knuckleball. You know, it takes a while to master, or like learning to do a nice curveball or something. I'm not good at analogies, but you got to be patient, man. I'm telling you, like you just slowly do it. You're not going to become in a year. You're not going to like become like this insanely amazing person. But over time, you'll slowly get better and better and better, and you'll make so much more money than you'd ever dream of 2 years before. It's like any sport.
It's
you
not
know?
going to take
It's
you
like,
15 years. It's just like a year or two, and you know why that goes by quick. And you got to spend some time in the batter's cage and just like have every freaking pitch thrown at you, and you're going to get hit a few times. It's like if it doesn't scare you, you're it. You just can't sit here and read everything. You actually have to do it just like baseball. Like you got to go out and like there's some boring days when you're just fielding ground ball after ground ball. I used to hate that. Like I was not meant for baseball.
I have family
just didn't have the
members that
patience.
played in the minor league, and they're going to kill me for this analogy. So I got to cut off. I got to cut it off. They're absolutely going to be mad at me. So I'm going to stop the baseball analogy.
Very
but,
competitive
man,
sport, man. All the
Patience
way-
is important.
yeah.
Speed's important. Go out there and start doing it. I believe in you, man.
Right.
You got this.
You
All
got
right,
it.
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
See you,
Appreciate
bud.
it. Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
One last thing I do have to say is I got another comment. I heard they're banning wholesaling in Atlanta. They are not banning wholesaling in Atlanta. Guys, these gurus, I know you guys hate when I talk about the gurus sometimes, but these gurus, Atlanta is not being banned for wholesaling. They're trying to stop the way you're marketing the sellers on it. That is not a wholesaling ban. Read about it if you're in the city of Atlanta. People think, oh, the entire Georgia's banned now. Guys, this misinformation is insanely stupid from these gurus. I wonder why they're doing it. Are they trying to sell you on something? Are they trying to sell you on a certain course?
Just get the facts. Guys.
Get the facts, guys.
I don't
I'm
know if
telling
people
you.
are running out of content to talk about. Like, I get it. There's challenges, but
Don't go pay someone $400 to go.
and you know what?
fix it.
We'll all evolve as wholesalers. Like we
Atlanta's
always
fine.
have.
I seriously, you can wholesale Atlanta. It is insane who comes out of the woodworks of this false information.
Yeah, if you start out a comment by "I heard," please disregard it.
Yeah.
Because
Give me the
"I
law.
heard" is not a factual. We need bills. We need stuff like that. This is how wild chaos gets spread, and everyone has fear. Guy, how many states are banned right now? Two.
And you can double close
Two
in
states, guys.
Oklahoma. I'm not going to be a lawyer here, but there are people wholesaling in Illinois with loopholes. I'm not going to tell you the exact way, but Illinois, you can get around it. So I'm telling you, you can wholesale basically
If you're
anywhere.
gonna- if you're going to spend all
Seek
your
legal
focus,
I gotta say this: seek legal counsel. You'll be fine. So,
Yeah.
guys,
So
this is how you
let's
get
wholesale,
cash
man.
buyers. Go out here, change your life today. This is Zach and signing out.
Rick in signing out.
Appreciate it.